everybody. Welcome back to Choose Your Roll. Tonight we are sadly not going to be playing our usual game of D&D, as some real-life obligations have taken away some players. Tonight, on the other hand, we are going to be playing...
Oops, my bad.
Are we not live?
No, we are. Sorry, I had to pull up something.
Tonight we are going to be playing a game called Blades in the Dark, a lesser-known heist-based RPG run by our lovely editor, Odin.
What's up?
Tonight will only be consisting of me and our buddy Toma, who plays Scrap. And by the way, Odin is the one playing Dahlia.
Yep.
We hope you enjoy, and we'll be back next week with a regular campaign and a new player. Broden, take us away.
Right. So I just want to start off by saying that I did not run this game too many times, so there might be a couple inconsistencies.
Hey, yo, Jimmy's good to go.
All right.
Ready as I'm gonna be, I guess.
So,
Stupid accent.
for some people who don't know about Blades in the Dark, Blades in the Dark is a tabletop RPG primarily based around doing heists as a crew. The beautiful thing about Blades in the Dark, though, is that instead of sitting around at a table with a bunch of people and arguing for 2.5 hours about how you're going to do the heist, just have it all go to crap, you actually get to plan the heist backwards. So you will run into a scenario, and then you tell me how you prepared for it. So it kind of keeps the game flowing and stops anyone from sitting down and trying to plan anything. So, with that out of the way, we're just going to go with the opening. Duskfall. An old mining town and one of the last remains of human civilizations post the cataclysm. A city known for its mix of many cultures and traditions, once protected by its leader, the immortal emperor, through the use of his divine sorceries. But, as of 300 years ago, it is now protected by a large electrical dome fueled by the processed blood of leviathans, needed due to the disappearance of magic in the world, and the ever-imposing wall of ghosts that wish to destroy the city. With magic disappearing, the city, as of the last 300 years, has undergone an industrialization. Machines now taking the place of magic. However, with the need for parts and new appliances, factories have started to sprung up and taking over large portions of what little land is remaining in the city. This is creating greater divides among the working and the elite. Pollution is filling the air and turning Duskfall into a smog-filled city with ruined streets and rundown buildings. Crime is also at an all-time high, and with 2,000 Skovlander refugees coming into the city in the last 40 years due to the recently ended Unity War, the city is on the verge of collapsing. The increased distrust between the different races in the city, and the ever-increasing economic divide that is occurring makes many wonder if there's any chance to make a living. Everyone looking for a new opportunity. And new opportunities is what has these two currently where they are at. Jimmy.
Hey.
You are currently kind of sitting in a very nice plush office. Sitting across from you is your good old college roommate, Bazobaz. He is sitting there as he usually does, looking over some papers, whiskey glass in hand, as you can see behind him, an assortment of shelves full of books, knives, and, well, fine liquor. He kind of looks up from his papers and he goes, "So, hey, Jimmy, look, I know you weren't wanting to get into this business for a while now, but, you sure about this?"
Yeah, I got to... You know, trying to own a restaurant in this part of town is just asking to get robbed, and I'd rather be the one doing the robbing.
Yeah, I remember the first time I robbed a restaurant. It wasn't
Yeah, it
yours,
was
right?
mine.
Oh, fuck. Right.
Yeah, that's why you're giving me a job, dummy.
Yeah, it was really awkward when we got to college.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, either way, good news is I do have a job for you.
Fantastic.
But I think you need some help for it, so I've been looking around, looking at applications, and I think I got a guy for you. Someone who could really help you out. And
One of them thinky guys.
yeah, I think you could call him one of them thinky guys. Kind of like me, you know? Kind of like me.
Ah, good. I ain't too good at that.
Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah. Should be here any moment. God. Gregory. You see, the shoveled man kind of pop his head through the door. He goes, yeah, boss. He goes, where's that guy, Malice, or whatever? What the fuck is he? It's waiting outside, boss. Should I send him in? Yeah. What the fuck do you think I'm asking? Send him in! With that, Malice, you are brought in to the office of Bazobaz. As you as well see a nice furnished office, nice liquors in the background, dimly lit, strangely by candle.
Permission to describe Jimmy to him.
Go ahead.
You see in the chair a very aggressively average-looking person, medium hair, brown eyes, brown trench coat with a very high collar, and the person just their look screams to you, non-memorable. But with the way they carry themselves, you find that to be deliberate at a close look.
Well,
What does Jimmy see?
in probably high juxtaposition to Jimmy, this is a dark-haired, pretty tall individual, broad enough but not too broad, gloved hands, pale white skin, wearing a red jacket. And he just sort of nods to you both as he places both hands in front of him and looks you over. Evening, gentlemen.
Damn, you can pick this guy out of a lineup.
Yeah,
Jimmy
but,
likes the cigar.
Jimmy, did you just take that out of my cigar box?
I left you money.
Opens it up, looks at it. All right.
There's a few coins that he had in his pocket.
Looks it up, looks up at you, and he goes, Jimmy, because it's you, I'll let it slide.
Hey.
Anyways, Mr. Malice, you've been looking for work, I understand, and well, I think my boy Jimmy here and you could pull off some pretty impressive work, you know. So I want to offer you two a job. In fact, I got two jobs for you two to pick from if you're willing to listen.
Yeah, I got time.
So there's two events happening in town soon. There's a small race happening over the night market. You guys, do either of you two know of the dog races that happens over there?
Yeah, I heard nothing but thugs over there.
Thugs,
At least
yeah,
in the
but
dog training.
they're legal, and that's the beauty of it. Legal money.
Yeah, perfect way to wash your money with gambling.
Exactly. It's also a good way to make money. Well, you see, the thing about the dog races is that no one ever realizes that the amount of doping that people do for the dogs in the races is massive. Of course, they never want to say it because, well, that would ruin the races. No one would want to go if people knew that others were cheating. So I want you to level the playing field, if you know what I'm saying. I need someone to come in there as I take my prize winner dog and help it win the race with a little pick-me-up of my own. He pulls out a small vial and he places it down to the left of him. This here is a thing called Leviathan Surge. It's a new legal, let's say. I mean, it can't be illegal. They don't know about it yet. Legal substance that, if injected, could give the person a real boost. You know?
I think we're all adults who can say steroids.
Yeah, but it's more fun if I fuck around. So,
Little bit.
my point is, I'm going to enter my dog, You're gonna sneak in. After its little test, you give him a little pick-me-up. With that, you should be able to win the race no problem. As long as, of course, no one else is giving their own dogs such a lethal dose pick-me-up as well.
Speaking of a lethal dose, if this can boost a person, what exactly is it gonna do to a dog?
I have no fucking clue. Sure the hell will give it a kick, though.
You seem
Sort of-
like
Sort of raises an eyebrow.
You seem like an individual who's seen some stuff, right, buddy?
I suppose you could say that.
Jimmy pulls out like a little copper coin. Not one you can spend, just like a little keepsake. This much in the body of that dog. Get him 50 yards before it comes back to my hand as I toss it up and catch it. Or it'll turn into a death abomination and its heart can explode. But one of two things.
Well, frankly, as long as it crosses the finish line, I don't care what happens. It's more money for me, and, well, we'll say the dog's out anyways. The second job I have for you is that there's a local fair in town, over in the Silk Shore district. In that little park area, they have these every year. These invention fairs, you know, big inventive types come around. They show off their inventions, try to get people to pay for them, and you know how it works. Apparently,
So you want us to rob a bunch of nerds?
well, not all the nerds. A specific nerd, a very specific nerd that I really need his works of something. You see, there's a new invention for getting around much quicker here in town. Apparently, that's going to be displayed over at the fair. No one knows what it is because, well, they're doing private screenings of it. But if I could get some blueprints of that, well, if I can get my own boys riding that, we may be able to actually put those red sashes into place finally. Especially if we can get away in time.
Well, you know what they say, speed is key, but I ain't too picky either way, but it'd be nice to go to a fair and see some sights rather than possibly explode a dog's heart. What do you think, big guy?
I think I've gotten in with most people in most locations, and either one would probably work for me.
Hey, Jesus, he uses a rectangle. Looks like we're gonna go find that new getaway vehicle. I'm betting robotic horse. Metal horse.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, as the way rain seems now, best transportation is fucking goats. Actually, robotic horse, that's not a bad idea. I may get my men on that. You know, as long as that's not something that's already made. But,
we gotta get you a way to get, like, animals in this gang. Is you're stuck with the guy. There's that abandoned pet store, like, 5 blocks over.
Yeah, no, it's been abandoned for years, though. I mean, who's gonna use a pet store as fucking cover? It's crazy. Anyways. Yeah, so you guys, you're looking more for the fair than the dog races,
The dog
then?
track? Yeah. I'll see some cool shit. Maybe bring you home something a little extra that I can get my grubby little mitts on.
Alright. Well, then let's talk payment. If you're able to get me the blueprints to the new getaway vehicle, I'll be willing to give you boys 2 coin each. For those who don't know, 2 coin is essentially a month and a half's worth of pay at a regular job. It is a lot of money.
I got one addendum to that one, boss. 1 coin for us as a group for every really important looking invention that you can use that we bring back is like a little finder's fee. Like, say someone's got this crazy new bomb to blow open doors, and I can bring you those blueprints.
Yeah, alright. How about this? If you bring back anything that I deem valuable, I'll boost up both your payments by 1 coin each for every blueprint that I find valuable.
And if you don't find it valuable, no harm done.
Exactly.
Alright. Jimmy will stick out his hand, shaking it with Bazabaz, before putting on black gloves so he doesn't leave fingerprints.
All right.
So Malice is actually going to walk over. It does indeed sound like a good deal. Mind if we shake on it?
All right. So you're with the terms that you go and do this job for me. You bring back the blueprints and bring back anything extra. I'll pay you for anything extra as long as I find it valuable, right?
Read.
All right. Claps your hand. I'm gonna guess you're gonna use your ability.
Yep.
Malice, as you use this ability on him, a mark does appear on your hand and on his, on the back of his hand. You start to walk away. You look at your palm. There's now a completely different mark on your palm.
Gives him a little salute as he walks out the door.
As you have both just ghost contracted each other.
We fucked it if we don't do this.
I think because you would each take 6 harm, you would both explode.
You would both get very much hurt. So the premises of this is that you will do your best to deliver what he wants to him, along with pretty much your end of the deal is you will bring him whatever he wants and asks for, along with anything extra from this fair. And his deal is that he will pay you for the item and extra if you bring back more.
Yep.
So it's not a very high risk deal, but it's a high risk, but it's a fairly easy deal to pull off.
Mostly just there to make sure that he pays me.
And he did it just mostly to make sure that you actually stay and do the job.
Jimmy have a thing on his hand?
Jimmy, you don't have a thing on your hand.
Oh, thank God. I forgot because we're friends.
Yep. All right.
No one ties down Jimmy Russo.
I'm actually curious, can I apply this to multiple people at the same time?
You can, but you will have more marks on your body, and it's a real high risk.
Mommy, why is that, man?
Have two of them that conflict with each other, and you just end up in a lose-lose situation.
Oh yeah, that
like
can happen.
John Wick 3. No, John Wick 2. Sorry.
Okay. So.
Tell me you get enough to where you just glow, so we don't need a torch or a flashlight.
Your entire body is just tattooed, like, perfectly.
And tattooed.
Like, wow, where did you get that? And he goes, oh, I fucked up a lot.
I work at a bank.
Man, imagine if people actually had this ability in real life. You know how more honest people would be with each other. Alright, so with that, you both get an action of downtime to try to prepare for this score. First off, how are you going about this score? Is this a assault, a deception, stealth, occult, social, or transport? So
social or stealth for me.
So assault is you do violence to a target, or like pretty much you would break into the fair, beating the shit out of people and taking the plans. Deception is lure, trick, or manipulate. So lure, trick, and manipulate in to try to steal them. Stealth is try to pass unseen into the fair and take the plans. Occult is try to get some supernatural force to help you and take the plans. Social is negotiate, bargain, or persuade your way in and try to take the plans. Or transport, which is carry cargo or people through danger, which I guess is kind of the second half of this, but for the most case, that would probably not work.
Yeah,
whatever version involves me figuring out where he would keep these plans and information on him that would get him to give me the plans if I ran into conflict with him.
Well, that's part of the downtime, I'd say.
Yeah, so this is probably...
I think we're either going to go social or stealth.
That sounds fair. Which one are you guys leaning into? Again, you guys don't have to pick the same route. If Jimmy wants to try to go in all social, Malice can easily try to sneak in and or trick his way in.
Hmm.
Again, this is a fair, so there are tickets for this fair.
And I assume
I have 2 consorts, so being able to get tickets into the fair wouldn't be hard for me.
That would
Probably.
be seen. That would be counted as your downtime. So it sounds like you both are trying to go to a social kind of way.
Yeah. So what I was thinking was
Yeah.
because I assumed Malice and Jimmy would have talked like, "Hey, you plan to do X, Y, Z. Here's how we can help each other."
Mm-hmm.
So Jimmy will try to get the blackmail with his sway powers if you get the tickets.
You don't know the eventer.
Shit, does Baz?
No, he did not say it during the
Dude.
meeting. He just said that some sort of inventor is showing off a new invention that is supposed to be a fast transportation. You can use your downtime, though, to try to talk to people and figure out what the invention is, or possibly who made it.
That would probably be easier for him to do if I get the tickets.
Yeah, I would say that, or I assume there's not like, because I've done this before, there's not like guard uniforms I can blend into. Yeah, I'll just figure out a little bit on this this here inventor, and
You do know there
figure out
is
the-
going to be security for this event.
I'll try to. Okay, no, then Jimmy's gonna try to get the security schedule if he can,
Okay.
just so I
And
know to like
Malice,
avoid.
you're trying to figure out how you can obtain tickets.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to have Jimmy go first. Jimmy, I'm going to guess you're rolling in sway for this.
Naturally, it's the only thing Jimmy's really good at.
So tell me, how about are you going to sway someone to give you the guard schedule? Who are you
I
going
assume-
to sway?
Yeah. I assume that Baz wouldn't mind loaning me some just 2 large dudes. They actually they don't gotta do nothing but stand behind me. Like just for like a couple hours.
Yeah, I think he would be willing to do that. You are good friends with Baz, and as long as
Yeah.
you're not planning to actually go into a fight, you're pretty
No. I just need them to stand there for a couple hours and look big.
Okay. This would change it then. I would say that this would no longer make it a sway. This would be
Oh
more
no,
of a command.
yeah, let me finish.
Okay.
Hey, your security is looking kind of lax. For no fee, just some current goodwill and maybe a favor later, me and the boys can keep an eye out where you ain't gonna be.
All right. So you're planning to go to the security for the fair and offer them your services to help.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
Roll-
saying, in exchange for maybe a favor later, we'll look out for where you're not gonna be. So that way I learned where they're not gonna be and when.
All right. Roll me a sway. This is going to be a standard roll, risky position
risky.
because they
Yeah, 'cause
are knowing somebody may be trying something or something's going on now.
Yeah, no, I actually get that. No bonuses because I brought the guys.
Because you do have 2 guys behind you, I'm going to say add 1d6.
Okay.
So
And
the-
submitting roll now. Jimmy's highest was a 6.
All right. So in Blades of the Dark, you take the highest die result, unless you have no ticks in a certain skill and you still try to do it anyways. When that happens, you will take the lowest die result. But Jimmy, now that he has 2 in sway, and I gave him an extra dice, 6 is your highest, which is a success without any drawbacks. Jimmy, you do, in fact, get the guard schedule, and you now know when the guards switch and their kind of rotation throughout the fair.
Fantastic. Yeah, I come to I assume that we have like a neutral meeting place like near Baz's office or some shit.
Yeah, it'd be pretty much right back at Baz's place.
Yeah, I just stroll up right there, put the schedule on the table. Jimmy delivers.
In the meantime, while that was happening, Malice, you were going around talking to your friends, trying to figure out how to obtain some tickets, correct?
I believe so. This seems like a pretty highbrow sort of thing if they're showing up inventions, trying to get people to buy in on them.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a noble background.
Yeah, so you go up to some of your your noble friends, those who still talk to you after you kind of fallen on hard times, but still entertain your company. So you're going to do what with them?
Basically I'm trying to do consort. Basically, he would sort of go up to him and just be like, "Well, I heard there's this fair going on soon. Some pretty interesting inventions getting sold around. Yeah, maybe I could drop in and give it a look for you if you sponsor me on a couple of tickets."
We'll say that one of your friends, I don't know what his name is, I don't know, Algeron or something. Roll me a consort to see if you have talked to enough of your friends to try to get 2 free tickets to the event.
What's the position?
So this is going to be a standard
Troll?
control position because you're not in really any danger from this.
Meanwhile, I just stroll up to a guy and say, "Their security sucks."
Yeah.
So no bonus dice then?
No bonus dice to this one though.
3.
Unfortunately, they already have their tickets planned, and they are really looking forward to going to this event. They do apologize, though. You are not able to obtain tickets to the event, but that does not mean you can't get in, of course.
Also means I know who have them.
That is true. That is
Yeah,
true.
that just means you got a guy inside now.
All right, so you now know, the good thing is you do know the route for the security, so you do know when they will be guarding sort of the outer rims of the fair and when they will be switching.
Question for you. So I did say, like, hey, I'd be looking out. We would be looking out where you're not gonna be. So would that mean they're not gonna be too like twitchy when if they happen to see Jimmy?
They don't remember Jimmy, remember?
I thought I had to actively activate that.
Nope, that is a passive ability.
Oh, well, they forgets me.
Yeah, they don't know you, but they do know the 2 guys, and that people were supposed to come by and help out. So who knows? Maybe they'll think you are it. I guess we'll depend on the engagement roll.
Like, Malice is pretty big, right?
I have possibly learned... yeah, Mouse is pretty big, but could I have possibly learned what sort of things that my quote-unquote friends were looking forward to at the festival?
Unfortunately, with the 2 and the 3, they were a bit too plastered. Talking about some, some weird play they went to earlier. You couldn't really get much information out of them.
Edge.
All right.
Got this bear who does martial arts.
And with that, it's almost time for the heist. What is your guys' loadout? So how much equipment are you taking in? Are you going light, normal, or heavy?
Jimmy travels light.
So to give the audience an idea, light is pretty much you have 3 items on you. People, if they looked at you, couldn't really tell you have them on you. Normal means that you clearly are prepared for something, but you're not too suspicious. Heavy means you're going to war. You have a backpack full of stuff, and you are ready to do something with it.
Does Malice travel?
He'd probably travel normal.
Okay.
All right. So the way this works is they have a set amount of items that they can use. So underneath their character sheets, you can't really see them right now. You have anything that's not in italicized, like a blade or 2 throwing knives, a pistol, a second pistol, a large weapon. They each have a box next to them. Whenever you want to use that item, you click on it, which will use a box of load, and then that's it. Your character will have it on them. You don't have to decide what you have going in. You just decide in that moment.
Yeah, you have 3 things.
Yep.
Malice comes in full plate armor.
If you,
I have come to bargain.
that actually will come up. If someone does get hurt, you can tick off 2 of your load to produce light armor, or 5 to produce heavy armor, which can reduce the damage your character will take. It's a lot to, it's a lot to
3 blocks.
It's a lot to take in, but the more we play, more we go, the easier. All right. time for the engagement roll. You get 1 die for sheer luck. Is this operation particularly bold or daring?
Kind of. We're going into a highbrow fair robbing it.
True, and this is the first time you both work together, so I'd be willing to give you an extra die. Is this operation overly complex or contingent on many factors? No, I
Not
wouldn't
really.
say so.
Because worst case, we're on a walk.
Does the plan details expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? You do, in fact, have the guards route, so
Yeah, I
will
have all their
say
security plans.
that's an extra die. Is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have any particular defenses or special preparations? They do, but you kind of worked around that with the guard duty. So we're not gonna take away a die. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? I'm not gonna count Baz in this because Baz just
he's
told
the
you
hierarch.
about the score, but he doesn't know much about it to really tell you much.
And
I
I
know
think
people that are going to be there.
Well, yeah, say Malice has people there, but I don't know how much help they'd be with that role.
I would say not much. Are there enemies or rivals interfering in the operation?
Not that we know about.
Not that you know about. So we're not
Yeah, there
gonna
could
do
be
it.
other people trying to knock this place off, but we don't know.
Are there any other elements that you want to consider?
The weather.
The weather?
If I'm being honest, the weather, because it's a lot easier, unless the place is indoors, it's a lot easier to steal something on a cloudy day than a sunny day.
You do know that the entire event is kind of circus tented off.
Okay.
So like if there's rain, nothing of the inventions will get wet because obviously you don't want water with electrical equipment. All right. So with that, you guys have 3 dice to roll for the engagement roll. So one of you roll me 3 die, and we're going to take the highest result and see how well the beginning of this goes, because we're jumping right into it.
I'm feeling frisky. 6s, 2 of them.
That's a critical success.
Yes, it is.
So that means not only do you succeed, you get a little bit bonus to it. So Malice and Jimmy, you guys know exactly when the guards are switching. In fact, you get there and they welcome you with open arms, completely expecting you to show up and take on this specific guard post.
Yeah, I basically just, given my 5'5" give or take an inch or 2 stature, yeah, I think I'm going to stand right next to Malice and make him look even bigger.
The bonus that you're going to have onto this is they do give you 1 pass for the fair that allows you to get into most areas. And with that, you are both now standing outside at what is considered your guard post with a free pass.
Spectacular. Jimmy, at least just to do some recon, see what's where, because I assume there's... Or get a map if we have one. Jimmy's going to try to blend into the crowd.
All right. I'm going to need you to roll something for that.
I think this would be survey, in my opinion, but if you think it would be prowl, I will agree with it.
I would have to say prowl for the fact that
I'm trying to blend in.
You're trying to blend in more.
Yeah, I know, that's absolutely fair.
Malice, are you going with him, or are you staying there as guard?
I was going to ask him to guard that way there's not like a big absence. In worst case, you can say I'm in the shitter.
I'm curious what I can see from here and if the post has any specific technology. Like, would it have cameras and stuff, or was it just sort of like you stand here and make sure people don't do things?
All right.
I think it's the latter. We are the camera.
So, I'm gonna have Malice. You roll. You tell me what you roll to try to figure out if there are anything like cameras or anything to make sure that it like is watching you while you watch the entrance.
Do you have anything in study?
I have 2 in study.
And that might be a really good idea.
Yeah, I think this could be. You could see this as a study roll.
Because he's studying his surroundings.
Well, that could also be a survey, but yeah. So to
Fair
gather
enough.
information and
This
apply
is-
knowledge.
I mean, this is more so me studying the specifically the guard post for anything that it has security-wise, but also just sort of keeping an eye out on stuff that's coming in and going out, so that I know what might be valuable later.
All right. Yeah. So roll me a study roll. Now, before you do roll, we're gonna get into some of the mechanics of the game. So, if you want to, you can do 3 things. You can push yourself, which is where you add 2 stress to your character. If you gain a certain amount of stress, you'll trigger a trauma. And this is a unreversible thing for your character. Pretty much, this affects your character's personality. If you get 4 traumas, your character has to retire because they just can't handle the stress of being a criminal anymore. So you can push yourself, take 2 stress, but add an extra die. You can ask for a devil's bargain, where if you succeed, an event will happen later of my choosing. But you will get an extra die. You can deny the devil's bargain. You can always ask, but you don't ever have to accept it unless you want to. And then finally, you can lead a group action or an assist. So a group action is one person takes the roll for this, and then you roll for it as well, but you as a group take the best result. But the other person who's leading it could take a lot of stress from leading it. An assist is you take 1 stress to help out another person and give them an extra die. It's a lot to remember.
Yeah, Jimmy's just gonna wants just to roll the prowl as standard.
Standard prowl? Okay.
Well, not like standard position, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you're not going to add any bonuses. Malice, are you rolling a straight study roll, or do you want to like push yourself or something?
If just for this, I'll probably just do a straight study roll.
All right. You guys, as of right now, are in a controlled standard position.
Okay, no bonus dice.
No bonus dice.
Jimmy don't got shit. I got 2.
Okay.
But
Malice,
he got a 6, so that's good.
you do know that there are no cameras. Cameras actually have not been invented yet. Duskfall is more of a Victorian England style place. Technology is still being developed, and cameras aren't a thing, but someone does claim they have found a way to capture a moment in a square, what they call an image.
Sounds like a witch.
And people were considered burning him.
It's gonna steal my soul.
Jimmy, you do
Hey.
try to kind of go into the crowd, but one of the other guards, you just didn't check that list too properly. And one of the guards come up to you and be like, "Oh, hey, man, aren't you supposed to be out at the post?"
Oh, so, hey, I thought the bathroom was this way.
No, actually, yeah, no, the bathroom's right next to you guys, really.
Well, aren't I? I think I said, have a nice night, gentlemen. As Jimmy
Yeah, you
does
too.
a pivot on his heel.
They do look at you as you walk away, making sure you go back. I'm gonna start a clock.
Oh, Jimmy goes back.
Oh, I know, but you still failed.
After he's walks in the bathroom, waits 5 minutes, and walks out.
So this is going to be a 6-segment clock, and it's going to be called Discovered. For the audience, when this clock is filled, the jig is up. That they know that they are here not for their guard duty, and that they are, in fact, trying to steal something. I'm also going to tick 1 box in the clock.
Jimmy is gonna go up to Malice and just be like, God, I haven't done this in like years. Usually
Alright.
I'm just, scamming people out of the pocket change.
Did I get anything other than cameras haven't been invented yet?
Cameras are not invented yet. You do know where what looks like two pretty interesting inventions are currently on display. One of them is for a candle that lasts, supposed to last 10 hours longer than a regular candle, which a lot of people kind of are looking at skepticism, because you can't really test that without
Sitting there for
leaving.
10 hours.
Yeah. And on the other side, you see what looks to be a strange device that this man has put a piece of bread into, as two metal things are red hot on the top and bottom.
Oh my god. Everyone's
Best
favorite.
thing. Could be the best thing since sliced bread.
Oh my god, it's everyone's favorite new bath toy.
You do you do see a third one, but it's just a man who literally has sliced bread, but the other direction.
This guy's got gumption. Hold up, can we just be friends? Can we just work for this guy? This guy knows what he's doing. Okay, to introduce a new mechanic, but I will need Toma's cooperation on this. I'd like a flashback.
All right, so flashbacks. You can flashback by taking 1 or 2 stress, if it's a little bit out there. By flashback, you tell me how you prepared for this exact scenario. So, how did you? What did you do in this flashback?
So Toma, you know how you got their fancy bottle of liquor?
Yes.
So I would need that for this. Do I have your permission?
I guess.
Okay. I would like to find some. I would like to have had found some currently sober but possibly very belligerent drunks that I've noticed just frequenting bars.
Mm-hmm.
Offer them this bottle of fancy alcohol to cause a horrible distraction that'll allow us to actually get in. If that wouldn't be beneficial at all, then just tell me and I'll shut up.
Malice. Either Jimmy, you will take 1 stress for this, or Malice, you can tick off 1 box of load to produce the alcohol, and then Jimmy, you will have to give me a sway roll.
It's already in my inventory, though.
It's one of his italics items.
Is it already? All right.
Yep, it's one of his doesn't count items.
One of my first items in here is finding a bottle of whiskey.
That is gone now, but you do just produce a nice, fine bottle of whiskey.
Okay, so Jimmy can sway?
Jimmy, sway away.
I'm gonna push myself.
All right. Take 2 stress, but
we need this one.
We really need this one.
There are times that you keep trying stuff and it just isn't seeming to work, and it does suck.
Yeah, this does happen. So, position?
Standard position, controlled standard, because standard risky or controlled risky, whichever the one that is. Because you are now being watched somewhat by guards.
I get 1 bonus die?
Yes, and I would also say that you trying to go sway people with a bottle of whiskey to go attack a fair while they're kind of watching you a little bit is going to arouse some suspicion.
No, this was something I will have had asked them to already do.
Oh, right.
It's a flashback.
Okay, forgot about that. Yes.
So now is it controlled?
Yes, because you would not have been under any suspicion.
No, yeah, this is controlled standard 1 bonus die. 6. Jimmy needed this one. It was on that last die too, so Jimmy needed this.
Jimmy, you remember being back in that bar talking to some of those really rowdy sailors who kind of frequent the Silk Shore.
I got some honorable sailors willing to do a real easy job.
At first they were a little hesitant, but as soon as you pulled out that bottle of whiskey and they all took 1 shot, oh, they were down. They were down the clown, and sure enough, right on cue, you do hear a commotion in the front of the fair as 4 Scotlandian doctors are now currently throwing insults at the guards, and one of them is in fact trying to catch the tent on fire.
Oh, can I ask a question just for flavor? Since he was with me, could this have been one of Malice's contracts? In case they didn't show up.
Mm,
I mean, I don't think this would affect the result at all because they're here. The mark would immediately go
I
away.
will say no.
Darn it.
But they
Trying
are
to get
here,
involved.
luckily, anyways. So,
Just trying to get Malice's thing more involved. But as I see all the guards going, I'm like, jeez it, go, 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 go.
yeah. So I'm going to need you guys to both roll something to kind of blend in while this is happening. Do add an extra die, though, to the roll.
I don't suppose I can sway like I'm here to help them.
If you want to go towards the fight, which is at the front of the fair, you can.
Yeah, because I would use that to sneak into the main crowd. Because I assume big old fight, a bunch of people in the crowd are gonna be watching, right?
Yes, but this would be more of, if you're going to go over there, they're going to, and you're trying to sway, they're expecting you to help fight off these people.
Hmm.
If you're trying to just sneak into the crowd while this is happening, that would probably be something like a prowl, or if you can convince me of anything else.
Nah, I got the bonus die on prowl. I'm good with prowl. Tell me how you doing it.
He he hears the fight start and he just sort of walks in.
All right, so it seems like you're both just kind of sneaking your
he's
way
wa-
in.
Yeah, he's just trying to be part of the crowd at this point.
Do either of you want to lead a group action?
Well, wait, hold on. We're all at least gonna roll. Tell me, how many do you have in prowl?
One.
So you
yeah,
both would roll 2 dice.
We're both rolling 2 dice anyway, so
It just makes it so that if someone leads, if one person succeeds, you both succeed. No issues.
that's true. So basically, we're just doing this with advantage.
If you lead, if one of you leads, yes.
Yeah, tell me if you lead it. That way, because I took stress with the last one.
Yeah, I'll lead it.
All right. Jimmy, you following Malice's lead. Malice, I need both of you to roll a prowl. This is going to be a risky, yeah, standard risky.
With 1 bonus die?
With 1 bonus die to both your rolls.
Okay. Thank God! Thank God!
Okay.
Jimmy got a 1 and a 2.
I got a 6 and a 3.
Malice, mark down 4 stress on your seat. It's a very stressful
rolled a 1.
situation. Jimmy, you got a little bit distracted by the fight because you saw one of the Scotlanders smash the completely drained, mind you, whiskey bottle that you gave them onto the head of one of the guards.
Jimmy may be a pacifist himself, but he got caught watching.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of grabs you and pulls you along.
But oh.
With that, you both enter into the crowd. No one has seemed to have noticed your disappearance from the exit, as they are all currently dealing with a very nasty fight at the front. But yes, you are now in the fair, seemingly unnoticed. People are passing around you. You hear adventurers all around going, look at this. This is an invention that allows one to go to the bathroom while sitting down.
So, being a girl?
You hear from the you do notice the inventor kind of look in your direction and give you a weird look. And from the other side, you also hear an inventor talk about an amazing invention involving ink from squid, allowing you to write all day without having to re-dip into...
Okay, Jimmy's gonna make a note of that. That's actually extremely valuable.
Yeah, there was that one. What? There was the. Was it actually a candle, or was someone making a light bulb?
Oh, it was a candle. You do know that light bulbs do exist.
I would say 10-hour candle and an actual well pen would actually be hella worth it.
Jimmy, you with your knowledge of the lampblax would know this. With the invention of electrical light bulbs, it is the reason the lampblax exists, because they all lost their jobs due to the invention of the electrical lamps that now light the streets.
And that's why Jimmy thinks the candle is valuable. Like, hey, if you want some legitimate money, here's your ticket.
It's also why you notice, looking back, why Basil Baz's office is not lit through electrical lights.
Yep. Question.
Yes.
Would Jimmy have, like, I don't know, something like charcoal and a piece of paper just to write down a list of what was, like, useful? Or do you want me to take off documents for that? Because I'll do it.
I would say, yeah, check off documents, and you will not forget what is currently being showed.
Yeah. As they're walking by, using the bathroom, sitting down. Like, hold on, we can do that now.
He does have some weird-looking contraption, like this whole thing. He's sounding like a madman. He's talking about something called plumbing, but not like plumbing. Not plumbing.
I thought there was just a literal weirdo.
No, I mean you don't know what he's talking about.
No, but like above game, I was just thinking this guy's weird.
No, essentially this man is trying to show the city of Duskfall toilets.
Writing that guy down.
Yeah,
that one's for personal reasons.
Yeah. You don't know if it's a thing yet.
No, I don't know if it's a thing yet, but you know what? Jimmy doesn't count anyone out. Anything that could seem remotely worth it is going on the list, just in case. Also, this man looks like he's a lot of people disregard him, so he'd be rather easy to rob.
He just seemed to have a fairly decent sized crowd for those who at least know what he's talking about. And there does seem to be pretty wealthy buyers who are kind of looking at this with some glitter in their eyes.
Gonna think for a minute, feel in his pocket, and just look at Malice. You strapped?
He holds up his right hand and lowers his sleeve a little bit, and there's a concealed palm pistol there because it's also one of those items that's just in my inventory.
It is.
Okay, Jimmy just pats the breast pocket of his trench coat. Mm-hmm.
All right. So
just in case. I don't want to be Jimmy's one-shot gun alone.
You guys are currently kind of just wandering the venue at the fair. I'm going to start another box, but not tick any of it. And this is going to be them noticing you have disappeared. Because the fight is pretty bad, this is also going to be a 6 o'clock.
Okay, so as long as we're... how close are we to figuring out, faster than a horse?
I mean, you now have entrance to the fair.
Yeah, so I think we would be looking for that guy, our main objective. All right. Have we seen anything for it?
Roll me something to see how you have been looking for it.
So I would actually, since there's a lot of nobles here, I'd like to attempt to fit in with them and consort with the nobles to attempt to find out if they've seen where it is.
And while he's doing that, I don't suppose. No, never mind. I don't suppose I could survey to look around, could I?
Yeah, you could survey to look around. You very much can fit in and consort with some people around as well. So both of you make me those rolls. This is once again going to be a standard risky position.
With no bonuses.
No bonuses.
Yeah, he's asking the high up people. I'm asking your everyman.
That's a 6.
Jimmy rolling like shit. I got a 2.
Jimmy, you are having a rough night.
These are not Jimmy's people.
I'm going to fill in a box for disappearance and notice.
Yep.
Malice.
Yes.
By all odds, as you went up to check out what this strange bread cookery thing is, you run into your old friend Reginald. God, it's been years since you've seen him. But sure enough, he recognizes you, greets you very warmly. He goes, "Oh, Malice, oh, so good to see you. Never thought I'd see you as such a quaint little expose as it is, but Well, it's good to see you. What are you here for?
Reginald, it's good to see you as well. Got in on a bit of a goodwill, looking in on some of these inventions for a patron of mine.
I myself, I've been checking this one out all night. It's quite fascinating. He's been giving out free samples if you want one. It's very strange to eat this warm bread. It's strangely crunchy.
Crunchy bread. Huh. And he'll just sort of take a free sample and chat up with this Reginald dude while he's nomming on that toast.
Yes, I gotta say, it's actually quite good stuff. I think, if they added jam to it, that could really sell it. And he starts lighting up a cigar, starts puffing on it. What brings you here? Any inventions you're really looking forward to?
Nods a bit. Yeah, I heard something about some self-driving vehicle or something.
Yeah, I've heard of it myself. Quite quite the story if you ask me. I highly doubt anyone was ever able to create something as that. But yes, I believe it's currently taking place over at the oh god, what was it now? He pulls out a small pamphlet of the venue. He goes, Yes, it's happening across the if you go down that way, you'll know when you reach it. You'll see a man who is trying to sell some kind of invention of what he calls it a grandfather clock, which I don't understand because we already have clocks. It's silly to ask me, but
That's right, I stole one of those.
it is. I forgot you stole one of those.
Yeah! For context,
This man succeeded.
Yeah, I forgot. By the way, this is the clock I stole now. For context, we used to play. Broden used to run this game weekly, and we robbed a very expensive exhibit, and there's just a clock. And I'm like, this is mine now.
Meanwhile, Malice is just over there like, yeah, that does seem kind of silly, but I don't know, maybe some people want it for aesthetic.
Well, it did look nice. Actually, now that you mention it would go pretty well next to the grand piano.
Grand piano, grandfather clock, they'd get along great.
That's right, you are. Anyways, I think I'm gonna keep looking at this, but we do have to catch up sometime. Perhaps we could meet at a bar over in Brightstone sometime. You would know that Brightstone is the nice place in town. It's not the nicest, but it is definitely where the nobles will hang out and kind of peruse.
That place I couldn't rob.
No,
he'll actually respond.
Secure,
he'll respond to that with, if you're buying, I'll go anywhere you want.
Oh my, how droll. Anyways, I must be off. Good day to you, Malice.
Can I ask a nonsense question for context? How burnt was that toast?
It varies. It very much varies.
He hasn't got it quite right yet, and it sometimes burns it. Hey, look, this one's got a picture of Jesus.
I mean, Reginald toast specifically. I want to know if he's dealing with a monster.
Reginald, roll me a d6.
Who's Reginald?
Sorry. Wait, you want to know Reginald's or Malice's?
Reginald, I want to know if Malice is friends with a monster. How burnt is this?
It's a bit burnt. It's not charcoal.
Wispy.
It's not charcoal yet. Malice, do you roll me a d6 though, because I am curious myself about yours. Yours is slightly less burnt. It's getting to that point where you're like, actually, not bad. You do feel like you may need some water though.
I can definitely see what he means about the jelly.
Yes.
It literally hit us with the making toast.
So you do now know the general direction of where the invention is being shown.
Yep, so I'm gonna go and find Jimmy and inform him on where we need to go, and also probably plant the idea for stealing the grandfather clock in the future.
Good. Self-fulfilling prophecies.
I like how you are making a list of what to steal, but it amazes me how much you're going to be able to before you have to make a break for it.
Yep. So you found Jimmy staring at a wall because I rolled a 2.
It's a very nice wall. Someone put up a very beautiful painting of a local singer.
You know what, Malice? I will never get art. They didn't have it in Brooklyn.
Looks up at it. Why are you staring at a mural?
I don't know. I got lost and I got intimidated.
Jimmy, it is a very big picture of a woman just kind of staring down at you.
Malice, I'm gonna be
A
honest.
big woman.
Yeah, if we, because we might die here, Malice. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm on a quite the dry spell since college.
I did not need to know that.
No secrets with Jimmy, except the secrets.
So, anyway, it's this way. One of my old friends said he'd seen it. Something about a grandfather clock too. Seemed kind of weird, but
Don't worry.
aesthetics.
We work together in the lower parts of town. Trust me, I'll be doing this kind of stuff.
It is going to take you a little bit of time to make your way through the crowd over to it. So I'm going to check
I figured it would.
one more bots on disappearance. So it's now 2 out of 6. Even though you are this far into the fair, you still do hear the faint noises of fighting.
Good.
So, yeah.
Good. Jimmy's orders of give them hell was taken literally.
It does seem, though, that it's starting to die down a little.
Okay, Jimmy's gonna fast walk. I don't care how much of a dingus I look.
Yeah, so you do make your way over to what seems to be a grandfather clock display, or at least that's what you think it is. There's a sign outside that just says just G.clock.
Alice continues to walk at the same pace because his legs are longer than Jimmy.
With that, you do see now this kind of smaller tent set up. That's still inside the big tent, but a smaller tent as you see a line kind of forming, everyone holding these very different tickets than the one you currently have on you. All of them kind of looking past the line, trying to figure out how long it's going to be. You do see on the side, though, demonstration of new fastic mechanical, transportation. Please wait 20 minutes.
Is it in like its own?
It's in its
section
own little.
of the...
Yeah, it's in its own little tent that's kind of sectored off. You do see about 2 guards kind of standing at the entrance to the rope gate. They are currently checking people's tickets, letting a small amount in, and they have currently just closed the smaller tent curtains. It seems that a show is just starting again.
Well, I mean, it's just a tent. We could probably go in through the side or something.
Yep. Jimmy's small.
So you guys are going to try to sneak through under the tent to get in?
If that would be the best option, because just from the sounds of it, it doesn't sound like I could talk my way in, and Jimmy's kind of average at everything but talking.
It also sounds like even if we did get some tickets, we'd be waiting for a long time.
The line is a pretty substantial wait.
Did they give us a badge or nothing?
They gave you a kind of a, not a full badge, but it's like a little document that tells people that you are in fact security guards, hired on security guards here for the fair, and that you have some permission to be in certain places.
Would it give us permission to be here?
You gather probably
like to cut
not.
The line. Okay. Sneaking it is.
This is like the highest display here at the fair.
Yeah, no, I got it. I just had to ask.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't, I'd be a fool.
So, As we're sneaking in there, if we run into anybody, I apparently have a vial of slumber essence on me.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
So if you were to get into a situation of a fight and or some kind of confrontation that you just
chloroform
don't want to
someone?
deal with, you could literally just go sleep powder and just splash it in their face. You still
Pocket
roll
sleep.
you still roll to see if it works,
Yeah.
but you do have
I
a
as-
pretty good chance.
I assume I can't, pocket sand someone with trance powder. That sounds like something you gotta hoover up. Is that correct? Just that an
Trans
assessment?
powder?
I can't toss that at someone and put them in a stupor.
Trans powder, I would say, needs to be ingested.
Yeah, that's fair. That sounds like an up the nose kind of party.
Yeah. That doesn't mean you couldn't try to offer people drinks, though.
Yep. Just for that, I'll keep my eye out for a waiter.
All right.
But yeah, we're gonna sneak in through because kind of the best option.
All right. So if you're both going to try to sneak through, I need you both to roll me a risky limited.
Okay, let me.
Or whatever you want to roll to try to get in. As you both are definitely trying to sneak into the nicest part of the fair, surrounding yourselves with pretty rich folk. Malice, you might get a little looks, but Jimmy, you will definitely get looks if anyone notices you.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I assume this is what, prowl again?
It's whatever you think it should be.
Well, if it can't be sway, then I'd rather it be prowl. Like Dean Martin, I like to sway.
The only other way I could see this going, for at least Malice, is if you try to consort with the crowd to rub shoulders again with the upper class to try to make your way in.
I don't know how well that would work since they'd have to get tickets.
Yep.
That is true.
And
Prowl
well,
it is.
I doubt that I'd be able to get tickets unless I offered them something more fun to do.
I mean, there's definitely things you could do. You could see if anyone close by has tickets who are not in line yet. You could try to take those. You could try to see if anyone has dropped tickets. You could try to see a lot of things.
Okay, hold on. I have an idea. Do I find anyone who looks sad and lonely?
Quite a few people.
Okay, if only specifically people who look like they might have an extra ticket, like people who got stood up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're going with here.
Jimmy's charming and handsome.
Oh.
When he wants to be.
You're gonna
Yeah.
have to roll something to see if you can find anyone.
I'll survey that nonsense. This is good.
Remember, you can always ask for a devil's bargain or push yourself.
Just because I might play Jimmy again.
Alright, you have a guys tonight, LG Dust.
Bye, Devin. So no. Jimmy will push. I'll take the 2.
Alright.
I feel lucky that after this I can indulge my way out. For those who don't know, after a heist, you got to
you get 2 downtime actions to do very specific things. One of them is you indulge your vice, which means you go out, do what you kind of like, and relieve stress from your character.
Yeah, what Jimmy does. For context, what Jimmy does is he goes out and tries to scam people out of their money to pay various small change debts he owes.
Yep. We'll get to that later, though.
Yep, so
Jimmy,
what's my position?
Let's see if you can find anyone who looks just lonely.
What's my position?
I would say your position is
Is it controlled?
controlled limited, because you
Yep.
are looking for a very specific thing, but you're not doing anything really suspicious.
With 1 bonus die.
The 1 bonus die. You could always ask for a devil's bargain if you want another. Oh,
Double
hey.
6!
Oh, Jimmy,
Jimmy's getting it.
my boy.
Hey,
You see the saddest puppy dog-eyed man you have ever seen in your life.
Look like he's on the right team for my plan.
He has a still in box bouquet. Not wait, what's those things that you like pin on?
A corsage?
Yes, he still has an embossed corsage, flowers that are now on the ground, kind of in pieces, tears streaming down his eyes as he is just holding up, not 2 but 3 tickets.
Wait,
Well, let's see if he wants.
was he on a double date or something?
Or this
don't
man's
know.
just pimping.
You don't know, but by absolute means, he is.
Both girls realized
fucking
that he was going with another woman.
Well, let's see if he wants to go on both ends of this teeter-totter. Come on, long, tan, and handsome.
God, that is the best moment to ever get a critical success.
What? Looking for a really lonely bisexual man?
Yeah.
He sort of looks over at you. Did you call him long, tan, and handsome?
Yep.
He's very pale.
Look, he just
I ain't got nothing flattering for you.
Look, man, he just used all his luck on that.
Yeah, shut your ass. You're rolling the next crap.
He'll
Yeah.
follow you.
But this man, yep, absolutely
Yep.
in tatters.
I will approach this man, putting on all the wink wink nudge nudge charm Jimmy has in his pocket at the time.
You approach him as he is in the middle of tears. He goes, "Why didn't they want to come?"
Simple, my friend. Women are crazy.
Who are you?
That doesn't matter. I'm availables is what I am. And I come with a
What?
+1.
Oh. I was supposed to meet my missus here, but she never showed. And
Great, now Jimmy's a home wrecker.
my friends didn't show up either, and I bought all these tickets and everything. I thought we'd have a good time. And
Well, good time's not too out of your future, my friend.
what do you mean?
I just gesture to myself in malice and wink wink nudge nudge.
You two gentlemen,
Not pro-
you would want to
Well,
go see. You would want to go see the new invention with me.
Oh, absolutely. I was
I mean, your friend here seems to be dressed for the occasion. Who are you?
Straightens his jacket a little bit. I can guarantee it will be an entertaining experience, if nothing else.
we don't like to do names in our profession.
I'm gonna need you to roll me a sway, but add an extra die too. I mean, I guess it's
No.
gonna be sway to try to sway this man to let you go with
Mhm.
him.
Mm-hmm.
If Malice wants to, you can assist him. You take 1 stress Malice, but he would get yet another die, so he'd roll 4 sways on this.
I really need this to work, so screw it.
Am I at least controlled?
You are in a controlled standard position because you are hitting this man at his absolute lowest.
I put on my best hooker act, even though one of my enemies is a prostitute.
That it is.
You know, you could just offer to be a friend.
Yeah, I was wondering why you were going with this route, but okay.
Because I went with something I thought would work. What?
Well, that's the way it's
Horny
going now.
beats yeah, but horny beats friendship every time.
Jimmy
Unless
does
you're
not
at
follow the belief of bros before hoes.
Jimmy follows the belief of Jimmy before others.
Yeah. Jimmy. You feel like you almost lose him for a second, but sure enough, he looks at you and he goes, I never thought about trying such thing.
By the way, for context above game, this guy ain't getting any. Jimmy will pistol whip this man before he tries.
I suppose. I mean, God,
By the way,
quite interesting going about
Broden?
with a scrounzel like you.
Hey, Broden.
Hmm.
And once we're in, he forgets. Once we're in, Jimmy walks away, and he's now forgotten.
Yeah, I know.
Toma's not though.
Yeah, I know.
I imagine that the assist that I give would basically just be me sort of nudging him, just like think about how annoyed or jealous all your friends would be with the scandal you'd make with this guy.
Quite right. Oh my.
With what guy?
Well,
Yes.
that was still in the moment. So.
Okay, I would say.
Yeah, I was saying as part of what I was doing to assist you. That would. But
Okay.
You two are willing to lend me some company, I suppose. Yes.
Would they be so fine? Then boom, horny.
Well, lucky for you, I could use some friends and some entertainment later. Yes, let's get in line. You can tell me all about yourselves while we wait.
Hey, I have a question. So, Jimmy's a social man, right? He knows where some people live.
Yeah, I would say so. You know
I'm
where
gonna give
a certain kind of people live.
I'm gonna give him the address just to say meet me there after the fair of someone who has recently annoyed Jimmy.
Give me 1 moment, real quick. I just need to check something.
Hope it's not one of those clocks.
No. I will say this will tick in 2 for disappearance for waiting in line with this guy, but you will get in, no questions asked.
Getting in is what matters.
Okay.
The security people don't remember me.
That is true. No, because they remember you after the second time.
Shit.
Yep.
Well, we tried.
But you still do have time.
We got 4 ticks left. We're good. Bet you didn't think this would be your campaign night, Toma.
no, this is about what I expected actually.
Yeah.
This is the second time I've offered Toma to be a prostitute in a game.
Why does that not surprise me?
We needed a horse.
Wait.
He's not lying.
Wait.
We needed a horse. I was obligated to get that specific horse, and this lady wanted it. So we just pushed the Dragonborn and left.
Oh my.
On the bright side, I ended up as a co-owner of a company, so.
And my babysitter for all time.
But you don't have children.
I would have adopted a Padawan. But no, Eskar would never have children the biological way. That's gross to him.
But then you wouldn't carry on Pup's legacy.
Yeah, fuck him. He runs the banks. I got no loyalty.
AJ.
Yes.
You have a moment where you do write down an address, and this is not going to affect you in any way.
Oh, I wouldn't. This was just for flavor.
But later, you do realize what address you wrote down. One Illyria Campaign, who you know to be the leader of the Red Sashes.
Oh, I've sent this man to his death. Not my
or
problem.
at least a very hardened slap across the face.
I say I meant just trespassing on Red Sash territory. Those sashes are red with blood.
You do know they won't attack anyone just for no reason.
Oh, I know, but with him just trying to get him some in their territory. Let's just say it. I've not sent this man for a fun day.
I don't know. Maybe she'd be into it.
I
Just
will
be
roll
the
later.
offer.
I will roll later for this.
Oh god, I created a crime.
As of
I've
right
created a
now,
crime.
you two wait in line with this man, and sure enough, you get in with no problems.
Was there any like big bad that you guys dealt with in your campaign for this before that was part of the Red Slashes?
They
No.
They almost got to that.
Yeah, we almost did for them as an organization.
What if it would have been this guy?
It still could be. That's the funny thing.
Yeah. All right, so sure enough, you are both led into this tent. The lights sort of dim down as the presentation starts.
I whoosh into the shadows, taking his memories of me with him.
That it does. As he looks around, he goes, "Oh, where was? I could have sworn we had another gentleman with us. Oh well, Suppose
Yeah.
you could do, and kind of nuzzles up closer to Mallow.
Oh, with that dialogue, he settled.
But in that time, you do hear from on stage, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 21st annual Tinkerer's Con here in the Silk Shore. I would like to thank everyone for coming to this event, and I would also like everyone to please take their seat and enjoy the presentation of our brand new invention. Well, I don't want to give too much away, but let us show you. And he snaps his fingers. AJ.
Question?
Yes.
Is this the kind of venue where they'd have like a green room for this guy to have all of his shit?
There does seem to be some curtains in the back that lead off to a backstage.
Okay, please continue.
You do see something in the shadows. It seems they are very much going for a dramatic effect on this. As the lights are brought to it, you see what seems to be a strange machine. Slim in its design, with one very large wheel, a seat. It looks to be some kind of bars you hold on to, and a very small wheel on the very back.
God damn it.
What? The bike?
This, he says, I call it the Penny Father.
I got the big bike. Oh!
By me, the inventor, Penny Farworth the Fourth.
That's why you couldn't give us his name.
There is a Ghost Rider on one of these.
There could be again, AJ.
Is there?
Micah?
You do not see any ghosts on the bicycle.
That would have been interesting.
It was very interesting. Also bad for business.
Instead of like that ghostly moan, bring, bring. Okay. Jimmy is just aghast by the absolute swagger of the Penny Father bike.
It is very, very stylish. Fine leather seats. Some of the finest craftsmanship you have ever seen. By today's standards, it's absolute shit. But for this time, a Dusk Bowl, the first form of a bicycle has ever been introduced.
Why is the wheel so big?
So what were you also expecting in the car?
I was expecting like a motorcycle.
This
It's
is better.
Victorian England. They
Yes, no,
they
but
ride
this
around
is
with goats. They're not going to goats to motorcycles. They don't even have bikes. Well, I mean, they do now, but...
But, yeah, okay, Jimmy's gonna need to find the green room. And either he will... Well, I'll just tell you my end goal, okay?
Mm-hmm.
To either find blueprints laying around there, or wait for him to mug him.
All right. So are you saying that you're going to try to sneak back?
Into the back. Well, we can't bum rush the stage.
I mean, we
Wait.
could, but we'd have to leave very quickly.
I would say you
We
could try,
could.
but it would definitely change the events of the situation.
Well, I'll say, we could, but we need two Penny Fathers and for them not to have guns. Get in, losers!
You do know that guns
And-
are fairly rare, but it's not uncommon for a higher up blue coat to be carrying a pike pistol.
Can I study this this bike and try and just sort of make my own blueprint as a backup in case he gets caught?
That's so much
Roll-
of a better idea.
Roll a study. You're in a control standard position because
Does
I
he
mean-
also have to use documents?
I have a thing called blueprints in my inventory.
Oh.
that you do. I will say, if you do blueprints, you will get, if you succeed, you'll get a much better blueprints of this machine. But if you fail, the chances of something bad going to happen will be greater because you are pulling out blueprints and trying to copy down this machine in front of the man who was inventing it.
Dark.
No, it's fine. I'm using the dude who won't stop snuggling up on me as cover.
It's going to be a risky limited because there is also a crowd in front of you, so you can see most of the bike.
Now, bro, I have a question.
Hmm.
Would my disguise kit be useful in this?
It depends on what you were trying to disguise as.
Well, what kind of person would be allowed back there?
Probably one of the guards, or possibly one of the guard captains, who is kind of operating the ship.
So not like a waiter or a janitor?
No.
Darn it.
Not without at least a very special pass for them to have.
Since this is the thing that we came for, I'm gonna use a push yourself.
Okay. So roll 3 dice.
Can I sneak into the back if his fails, like make mine conditional?
So I would just add 1 bonus dice.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Okay.
So 5.
A 5. You were able to get, from what you can tell, most of it. Again, you are behind a crowd, so you are trying to have a hard time kind of like getting the exact details, especially since you can't take measurements of the machine. So you do have a rough blueprint of the machine. You do have a pretty good sketch of it. I'm going to tick.
He's got enough to hand over to this dude to have him sort of work out the ifs and ands about it.
Possibly. Because that was a limited, I'm taking 2 boxes on the disappearance. So the disappearance is now full. The fight is done, and they have noticed that you two are currently not at your post, but they're not that suspicious yet because you could be anywhere trying to clean up the mess or possibly at the bathroom or something.
No, I don't actually do this, but Jimmy in a fake voice. Oh no, they shot Gary! Well, we should probably go take care of that. But no, now, after can we just say, because he actually wrote it down, he grabs me by the collar, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, I would say... Actually, this
Now
brings up an interesting situation.
Well, that's what I'm saying, now that I'm not just, sitting in the,
Jimmy, you walked away.
Oh yeah, no, I walked away, but before I go in the back, could he have grabbed me?
If Malice pulls you back, as of right now, this man will remember you.
Okay, then can I change my destination of walking away?
In what way?
Well, we got what we came for. Jimmy's just gonna leave this tent.
You don't know that, though.
Then Jimmy's just gonna leave anyway. Well, actually, I can justify my motivation here if you'll let me.
Okay, what is your motivation for Jimmy just walking away?
He sees that there's no other out to get away from this guy.
The cleaning dude?
The guy who's snuggling up on us. He sees no other, because, obviously, backstage would have very visible protection.
True.
He sees no other way to get away from this scenario and be forgotten, other than just to dip.
Remember, you can try... You don't have a complete schematics of this thing.
I have a good bit of it.
Yeah, but that may not be good enough.
The promise was you would bring him the full blueprints.
Okay, then let me just change it to Jimmy just generally blends in with the crowd away from this guy.
That is fair.
While I'm studying, does it seem like this guy has some blueprints on him or is referencing some?
It doesn't seem like he has some on him, but you do know that if he is trying to sell this thing, he definitely has them somewhere here because he needs to show the blueprints to the buyers.
Okay.
To throw you a bone here,
then,
you do have a very wealthy man on your arm.
Then basically what's going on here is I'm covering our ass in case something happens that prevents us from getting the actual blueprints.
Yeah, Jimmy would just be blending in the crowd, watching what's going on.
Okay.
That might be a better use of my time.
So, as you were kind of waiting for this to play out, I'm assuming that is what you were doing then.
Yeah. We're not gonna, do anything mid-presentation, because that would look odd.
Yeah. You do see a man come out. He has that stereotypical like scarf, like almost like a biker outfit on, with like a scarf and like little goggles on.
And the tiny hat.
And the tiny hat, as he like goes around this kind of lopsided stage on the Petty Farthing. It seems to be pretty tricky because there is very limited room, but he seems to be doing pretty well with it.
What if I just convinced the guy that's snuggling up on me to buy the blueprints for it?
That is
Ooh.
always an option.
On the grounds that the rest of his evening will be interesting, and we just drag him along with us as we're running away.
Yeah, oh my god, this
You
is
could
such a good
totally
idea.
use him to try to buy the bike plans, or you could even try to use him to get you backstage in the pretense that you were going to buy the bike. There's a lot you can do with this.
Yeah, he just can't see Jimmy.
Yeah, I was just like, you seem to have forgotten that this guy is rich. He had three of
I
those
know
tickets.
he's rich,
is rich.
but like
But
Jimmy didn't want to get in too deep.
It's also the fact that you're surrounded by rich people, so we'll have to see.
Jimmy can find a less promiscuous one.
All right, so Jimmy, what are you going to do? And Malice, are you going to try to convince this man to take you back stage and try to buy this bicycle in the promise of a very fun night?
Interesting. night.
I don't know if I'd go with what time is it right now?
In the day, it is getting late. It's about 8 o'clock at night. You know the fair goes about for another 3 hours. Because I would have assumed you would have waited until more of cover of darkness for this.
Yeah.
Then in that case, the specific phrasing that I would use is that if he can get us back there to get a closer look at this interesting invention, I can guarantee that the rest of his evening will be interesting.
Yep. Specifically interesting.
Okay. What are you going to roll to try to convince this man?
He's a noble, right?
He is a noble, but this...
This sounds like a sway roll, if I'm being honest with you.
I don't have sway.
Okay, so I'm going to read out what Consort says. Consort with connections from your heritage, background, friends, or rivals to gain access to resources, information, people, or places. I will allow
getting access to a place.
I will absolutely allow this to be a consort roll.
Yeah, because this guy's a special friend.
I will say, though, if you push this, you are one way from receiving trauma.
Tell me you really need to keep your stress managed.
I don't know why I got 4 earlier.
Because the way that leading a group action works is that, like I said, you can gain a lot of stress from it. So because AJ's character rolled a 2 on it when you led,
Yep.
2 minus 6. 4 is what was made the difference, so you take the 4 stress. That is how stressful it was to try to lead him on.
Hey, I'm guaranteeing that this evening's gonna be interesting, right?
That is true.
Hey, Broden, could you give me a devil's bargain to ponder?
All right. What would be a good devil's bargain for this man? All right. If you succeed on this, you'll get an extra die, but if you succeed, you will not be able to stop him from taking you home and introducing you to both his parents, his current lover, and he will try to take you to the brothels of Silkshore.
Okay, I know one.
Joke's on you, I don't have a problem with that.
I was gonna say, I know one way we could stop him.
Say the one that's guaranteed though is you will meet his parents and his current lover.
See, but that just sounds like a fun opportunity to fuck with people.
Oh, it
Yeah,
absolutely is. But if he shows up dead later or assaulted, you are the last man he was seen with.
See, I don't plan to do that though. I just because the thing is, like, you guys don't know what the fuck Malice is into.
Exactly. If this seems like something Malice would actually be into and be okay with, that's absolutely fine.
Go for it.
It's just that it will happen.
We doing it.
All right.
Perfect.
So roll 3 dice for consort. You are
It sounds like he's in control here.
You're in a controlled but limited effect because you are asking him to pretty much met this guy, promise him a night out on the town, and wanting you to buy. You want him to buy you pretty much a new car.
Hey man, this is an upgrade from that horse.
Oh, absolutely, it's an upgrade. From the horse.
So you said 1 bonus die?
Yes. So you'd be rolling 3 for consort.
6.
Well, you'll have to meet my parents, but I see no issue with this. No. All right. Yes. Follow me.
Joke's on you. This guy does end up being the the big bad from your guys' other campaign, but it's also Malice there with him, just messing you guys up.
Well, that or we actually just convert this man to a life of crime.
Yeah. You could too if you wanted to make that into an action.
Yeah, white collar crime.
He could be our sponsor.
Yeah, man, white collar
absolutely
crime.
could.
It's real. We could use his business to launder money.
With that, the performance concludes, and you and him start making your way up to the stage, and he says he is a person of interest who would like to buy the machine and or the schematics of the machine.
Like to roll survey real quick?
The best part about this is technically we aren't breaking any laws in doing this, and therefore the only thing we can get in trouble for is leaving our posts so far.
Which I will say will definitely affect you in a good way later on.
I just want to survey to see if we're being actively looked for, but if it's not worth the roll, then that's fine.
I mean, if you want to, absolutely go ahead. I won't say if it's worthless or not.
Oh, yeah, I assume risky limited, or?
Yeah, it would be a risky limited.
Yeah, because if I'm not there, because he can't be there, I just want to at least be doing something useful.
It's also the fact that you could be looking out for more than just the group, though.
Jimmy found that wall again.
Jimmy, you do find that wall again. Actually, it's a different mural because you are in a different spot, but it's.
I was gonna say
you
were way too far away.
The wall followed him.
No, you walk out as you once again see another mural of the singer, and you're not sure what it is. You know it's not, but you can't get over the fact that she does look very similar to your last relationship, the last girl.
Now Jimmy's about to be a fan of Taylor Swift.
Oh God. You know it didn't go well, but gosh, she does remind you.
I shook it off.
I'm going to tick 2 boxes undiscovered, as they are in fact looking for you, though.
Okay, do I at least gather that, or?
Yes, I would say that you gather that.
That's
things are starting to go a little bit awry. You just don't know by how much.
That's fine, as long as I have a general idea. I'm happy.
Mm-hmm. Malice, you go back with this man as he kind of walks into the room with the inventor, and he goes, well, it's good to see you. You are here to acquire about my magnificent invention, are you? Yes?
Yes, it's of quite a bit of interest to me.
Well, I took great pride on it. It took me nearly, how many was it? 5 years to invent. You'd be surprised at how difficult it actually was to achieve.
Yes, I assumed there were some difficulties. After all, there must be some reason the wheel is that big.
Yes, it gets better traction, less likely for you to fall off the machine. Of course, we've had our struggles. Of course,
Is that actually why?
I don't fucking know.
I was gonna say, he's pulling that out of his ass.
Oh,
That's unbelievable, though.
My response to that was, you think you could just make the wheel wider?
Do you want the actual reason why he did it?
Google why the Pennyfather wheel was so big. Hold up.
This guy's reason is he thought it would look fucking cool. Give me one moment. I'm just looking.
It's for speed.
Is it really?
It's because there's
Yeah,
no
'cause
chain.
there's no
Huh.
what?
So the front wheel is both turning and propulsion, while the back wheel is just balance.
I
You
didn't
said
know
it was
that.
because there was no what?
The penny farther bike has no chain.
Oh yeah, because it's you just sort of pedal
It's
around
why
the axis of the wheel.
it's also why the stage was kind of wobbly in some areas, so that he could like go down and then up and down and up and. So he does look at you and goes, "We'd have, of course, the main issue with my invention is I've been having a hard time getting fundings for the creation of it. After all, the cabbie union would be very unhappy if this were to ever reach the market. I mean, who would want to ride the goats' cabs anymore when you could just make your way on a more stylish invention?"
Now I'm just curious where that other guy got the horse. Had two horses actually.
Ooh, that's not good. Sorry, something just broke.
Oh, fun.
Jimmy will continue to seethe. Actually, Broden, you think this is a place where we could take a bio break?
Yeah, as of he mentions the cabbie union, we are going to be taking we'll say 15-minute bio break.
15.
So, yeah, 15 minutes. So we will be back at exactly 8:35. In the meantime, for you two, grab something to eat, a drink, use the bathroom, whatever you have to. If we can get like one or two more people in this, I'd be more than happy to.
Yeah,
Whenever we
this is
can't do a D&D game, we'll just continue this a little on. And if it ever became a series, then fine.
Yeah, for those watching, this is likely what we'll do. Just scattered one shots of things that other people in the group want to run.
Mhm.
We'll likely do those if someone can't be here because I don't like playing if the whole group's not involved. We did it once for our first episode on YouTube, and I wasn't too jazzed about it.
Yeah.
Through no one's fault, but still just going forward.
Wasn't that for the person that's leaving too?
Yeah, by the way, the IRL shenanigans, we are going to be losing a player due to real world commitment issue that needs to happen. But we do have one person who's in the chat who will be replacing them shortly. I just needed the... Yeah, now we're talking about you, Clear. I just needed the time to write an intro and an exit, and it was sort of last minute for me.
Yep. Luckily, I had Blades in the Dark kind of already still all set up from when I was running it, so we were able to do this.
But we are pretty much getting on time. I think we should just resume.
Yep.
We're
Alright.
we're on the tail ends of this heist.
You are on the tail ends of this heist, luckily. So I will also say for anyone who's watching, Blades in the Dark definitely won't ever be as long as Dungeons and Dragons because there is just always so much you can do in a heist. So
Yeah, there's only so much you can do until the clock runs out.
if we ever get into the situation of like we finished an entire heist in like an hour and a half, we may try to do one more, but that's in a very rare occasion.
Yeah, like we're on 2 hours now, so
Yeah, so after this one, it is just going to be this session.
yeah.
Either way,
Let's bring her back.
Indeed. To remind everyone, currently, Jimmy, you are kind of just outside staring at a portrait of what seems to look like one of your exes, but as a pop star. And Malice, you are currently arm in arm with a man who is currently trying to buy the penny farthing bicycle for you in the promise of a interesting night. We're going to pick up right there. Yeah, so you two are inside. He just described to you, though, that he has been having troubles with the cabbie union due to the fact that this bike could, in fact, put a lot of cabbie unions out of business, as people would rather take the penny farthing bicycle rather than the goats.
Would Jimmy know a guy in the cabbie union? Not like personally, just like know of a guy. If not, that's fine. I just
Not well. You do know that the Lamplacks are actually enemies with the Cabbie Union.
that's why I ask.
Yes. To put in perspective, the Lampblacks are enemies with the Red Sashes, the Blue Coats, and the Cabbies. They are allies with the Foghounds, the Gondoliers, and the Iron Hook Prison.
Thank
The
God. we're out.
Lamplacks is the group that we got hired by, right?
Yes, that is who you talked to and were hired by. You were talked to by the leader known as Bazobaz.
Then in response to that, what he basically would say would be, well, I can guarantee that if you can give this blueprint to me, the people I can get it into the hands to won't have that much of a problem with Cap.
So you're asking him to buy the bike, at least the blueprints to the bike, and give them over to you.
Yeah.
Because if I can get it into the hands of the Lamplacks, and they're already enemies with the Cabbie Union.
Especially because again, I can't be there to assist, but I can at least give you this idea. Who says we can't just recruit this guy?
You will have to talk to him. You also don't know who he's allied with.
I know that he's apparently against the Cabbie Union.
He has bad relationships right now with the Cabbie Union, but he may not consider them enemies. Either way, it's time to ask questions.
Where am I?
Well, you have to ask him questions and talk to him to know more.
I assume when they're talking to that guy, if he can get the scientist alone, Malice would have waved Jimmy over, right?
As of right now, you are both backstage. Malice, if you would like to, you could try to ask him if you could allow your compatriot Jimmy backstage as well.
Well, that's the thing. Jimmy can't be seen by this guy. At least by one guy.
Would you like to ask him if you could talk to him alone?
Yeah, he sort of looks the guy over a little bit, and are you saying ask the scientist dude if I can talk to him alone?
Yeah, or if you want to ask the guy who's with you to just step out the door for a second.
Yeah, he sort of looks over at the guy and actually, if you wouldn't mind, some of the information I plan on talking about is a bit sensitive, and I wouldn't want you to get you involved in anything over your head.
Are you saying that to the guy who you are arm in arm with?
Yep.
All right. Roll me something. Add a die because he is enamored by you.
Something, huh?
So whatever you want.
I roll a 2 and he was a ghost the whole time.
Let's see.
I would say the
Main ones. I mean, I don't have anything in this way though.
You could tell him to just wait outside, try to intimidate him,
Yeah.
or
Actually, yeah, as he's saying that I don't want to get you in overhead, why don't you wait outside for me just for a moment, as he's gonna try and use command.
all right. So roll 2 dice for that as you try to command him to step out.
So is that just controlled, or?
I would
you
say
have
you
dot
were
in
in a
command?
controlled standard. He has a dot in command.
Okay, good. So for those who don't know, Broden, what happens if I roll something I'm not proficient in?
You will roll 2 dice, but you will take the lower result. And you can also not crit while that happens.
So am I rolling with 1 bonus dice? Or?
Yes, with 1 bonus dice. You can also ask for a second devil's bargain.
Nah, I'm good.
No,
That's a double 1.
and he's clicking.
I should think not. I am the one who's buying it, if we come to that. And besides, I don't want you sneaking off on me now, do I?
Fair enough. And he sort of looks over at the scientist dude and just sort of
Wait, Broden, question.
Hmm.
It's if he sees me. It's not that all his memories of me come back, right? If he sees me again.
Let me see. When you summarize someone, you may cause them. When you sway someone, you may cause them to forget that it's happened until the next interaction with you.
Oh, so he would remember it all.
Yes.
Okay, never mind then.
So he already knows you're there, and you would actually know that. Yeah. So it's only when you sway someone to do something will they forget you afterwards.
Hey, I swayed that guy to get us in.
Yes. So afterwards, as of right now, he does not remember you.
Yeah, but if I went up and joined the conversation, he would.
Yes, he would remember you, but if you swayed him again, he would also forget again.
Okay. Continue on. I will continue to be in the background.
All right.
So, you said it was called the Lamplux, right?
Yes, the
Yeah,
Lamplax
that's okay.
are the ones who has hired you.
Sort of leans in, sort of like in a faux let's be secretive for a moment. How do you feel about the Lamplux?
How do the Spartarites feel about the Lamplax?
Oh, so he's affiliated.
He's a scientist. He has to have some kind of connections. And so, yes, he is in fact affiliated. Oh, let's see. I mean, they're a group of charlatans. I can't say I feel strongly either for or against them. Why are you a member?
I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm a member just yet, but I am here as a bit of a... And he sort of holds up his hands and does the quotes, representative.
And what would they want with me? I'm protected by the Spartarites. They have no business threatening me.
Yes, they don't. But as I said, technically I don't work for them. He sort of narrows his eyes a little bit.
And so are you threatening me?
Not if I don't have to, sir. After all, if you comply and allow my friend here, who's been such a doll, I might add, and he pats his cheek a little bit.
The man.
Why are you suddenly stubborn?
The man blushes and kind of just like sways a little as he kind of mutters to himself, like, "Oh no."
If you would allow him to purchase this blueprint for me, I can get it into the hands of a group that will no longer have the issues that you've been having with the Kappa Union, and ensure that your amazing invention gets into the hands of those people that you want to have it.
Well, there's no secret I'm not a fan of the Cab Union. That, I think, are pretty made obvious. And I know that the Lamplax are not friendly with them either. But I wouldn't say that makes us allies. I have people in the city council who are interested in this invention. But I'm not afraid to do some backdoors dealings. I mean, inventions are copied or stolen all the time.
Never hurts to diversify your incomes, I would say.
Why are you a cowboy?
Roll with it, AJ.
Because, shut up.
Little did you know, he was always a cowboy.
Slowly puts on hat.
I say, I'm pretty sure my voice for the scientist has changed like 5 times already. Well, anyways,
I had a day to come up with this character, so.
Anyways, I would be willing to sell you a copy of the blueprints. But it will cost quite a bit. Like I said, I have definitely been working on this for a long time, and I am backed up by very powerful people.
Yes, I'm sure that you are.
Roll me a study real quick.
Just normal everything?
Yep.
Or...
This is just to see how much you would know about...
So this would be controlled or risky?
Everything standard. Standard control.
4.
You know a little bit about some of the groups he's mentioned. You definitely recognize the city council. They are the highest authority in all of Duskfall besides the Imperial Army. They are a group of members of about 6 city council members who kind of make the decisions for all the city. They're the ones who pretty much took control after the Imperial King stepped down, or at least let go of most of his control. That they are, in fact, allies of the Sparkerites, who you know is a group of engineers who typically are the ones who maintain the lightning barrier.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how strong the Sparkerites are, but the fact that they are backed by the city council is a bit of a threat. Well then, if you are looking to purchase a copy of these blueprints, I'd be willing to sell. For a price, though. I don't suppose you have the coin on you now.
Sort of just look at the guy.
For a copy of the blueprints, it will be 7 coin. He does back up when he says 7 coin. 7 coin's a lot of money. 7 coin's a lot of money.
How much did it seem like he was going for when he was just on stage earlier?
Like, how much was he trying to sell it for?
Yeah.
It seems like...
Again, I'm not there, but technically, depending on the people Baz could call in, you don't actually need the blueprints for an invention like this. You kind of just need one of them to reverse engineer.
You could also try buying the prototype bike, yes.
Okay, but I still want to know what he was trying to sell for before.
You would have to roll something to try to figure that out.
I couldn't have just heard it while he was doing the presentation.
He never said during the presentation. He just said that he was looking for buyers.
Well, in that case, for now. And, how much would it be for just the device itself?
For the prototype, I'd be willing to part with that for 5 coin. I will say, though, it's not as finished as this one. That was merely the start of it.
Sort of rubs at his chin a little bit, contemplating the fact that he said he would do his best to get him the blueprints on this thing.
You did specify blueprints.
Yep. So if you don't get those, you do explode.
Why do I feel like you're trying to take advantage of me a little bit, sir? And he sort of smirks.
Make a comment on the size of the town.
If I didn't know any better, I'd think you were being a bit non-inclusive.
Well, it's a great risk for me to sell to a gang here in Duskfall.
Oh, only if it goes on record as being sold.
Don't underestimate the city council. They're very good at getting information, whether out of myself or anyone else.
Has he shown at any point the actual blueprints?
He...
Like, is it in this room?
I would say that with the potential buyer, they are rolled up, but they are on the table that he is in front of.
Don't assume there's any ghosts around here, is there?
I mean, do you try to sense any ghosts?
He'd check, probably.
Alright, just roll me an attunement. You do have to kind of focus on this. So you are at a risky standard.
Basically, he'd sort of just say to the two gentlemen in the room with him, allow me a moment to contemplate the situation.
Of course, of course.
And that's a 5.
5. You do sense a ghost, in fact. I'm going to tick one box on discovered. Jimmy, you do realize that the security guards are starting to follow your trails to this location. They are still a distance away, but you are 2 ticks away from being discovered.
I don't suppose there's a way for me to covertly pass. Are there waiters walking around?
There's a few serving
is
drinks
Toma
to some of the
backstage?
higher end.
Is Toma backstage, or is he at least
Toma
where-
is backstage as of right now.
God darn it.
You got the non-talky dude in the room with the dude that needs talking to.
That is true.
You should have left with your. You should have left. That's the thing. Because I'm gonna try to have a waiter pass you a note, but I
Well,
can't.
you walked off. How was I supposed to know?
That is true.
That's true. You don't know.
And I have to do my best to get these blueprints, otherwise I explode. So.
Yep.
And yeah, I forgot to tell you, Jimmy doesn't stick around too long after he swayed somebody.
Jimmy, there's plenty of things you can try to do if you'd like to try to delay the discovery, or
I would. I'm just trying to think of possible distractions I could do here.
Put on backwards shoes and walk in the snow.
Is there snow? Is there snow, Broden?
Is there snow?
Yes.
It is not
We're-
the time of
we're-
snow. Nor can snow really get past the lightning
I'm pretty
barrier.
sure we're in a tent.
Darn it.
You are in a tent, and also snow can't get past the lightning barrier. It immediately evaporates.
Hellhole. It's a
It
very
is a
dry town.
Oh no, rain still comes down.
But not solid rain.
No, always liquid.
If we were
Jimmy's
to erect
gonna
some
sound
sort of
like-
machine that refreezes the water as it falls.
Jimmy's actually going to start looking for an escape route. He won't explode.
All right. I would say make a
Keep in
survey
mind, I'm
roll.
not dipping.
Okay.
I'm just saying for when
But
I
you're
need.
trying to find a way out that if, in case of an emergency, it may be easy to just book it that way.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Make me some kind of roll to try to find a pretty good escape route.
Give me my position, please.
You are in a risky standard position.
3.
Man, don't look good.
Really nice wall.
They're getting closer.
Just because because they might recognize the clothes, I would like to disguise kit myself.
Okay.
Because I also have fine clothes and jewelry to look like a noble.
All right. I'm going to start a new clock.
Called Fancy Jimmy.
It's going to be called disguise. This is how long your disguise will hold up.
Okay.
It's going to be
Yeah,
a 4
Jimmy-
tick box. What this does, though, it does delay your discovery.
Yep, so Jimmy will just look like a noble. He'll even change his hairstyle up. He'll stash away his trench coat.
You grab as you do, you grab one of those, like, small shot glasses off of a waiter's tray.
And I find a very chatty group of people and just start to have a conversation.
Pretty much, and thankfully, Jimmy, you are very good at having conversations.
Yep.
Also-
So,
While this guy was chatting with me when we were watching the presentation, did he mention what line of work he's in? Since he's apparently a rich dude.
oh, he's been talking nonstop, my guy.
Yeah, but did he mention what line of work he's in?
He did. He did say that he owns a few high-end establishments over in the Brightstone district, particularly establishments pertaining to taverns. He also mentions that he does have some investments into the mines at the Coleridge.
So he's got like
He's got stocks and he has a few
he has
businesses.
property and stocks basically.
Yes.
Yes, allowing your money to make itself for you.
Exactly. Either way.
So, what's the deal with this ghost?
So, You do realize that there is a ghost. And the ghost is actually coming from one of his other inventions. Kind of sitting over in the corner of the room, there is a weird-looking light bulb. Initially, you know that light bulbs are obviously ran by electricity. This one seems to be run by something spiritually. You also know, though, that isn't exactly legal in Duskfall. Ghost splicing for stuff is a very big no-no.
So, I forget, with one attune you can command ghosts, right?
With a specific skill, you can use...
Yeah, I don't have the
You
ability
can
that he
command a
mentioned.
Damn it! I was the ghost can rob this man.
Okay, I don't need the ghost to rob this man. He sort of looks over at that bulb for a moment, and he sort of points over at it. You know, I couldn't help but notice that particularly interesting looking bulb you got over there, sir.
What about it?
Well,
just a regular light bulb. This is a new invention I'm trying.
yes, it's a rather interesting invention. I assume you know the laws on... What was it again? Ghost splicing. He gives him a serious look.
You can't prove that. It's a regular bulb, nothing more.
Do I have a way to prove that? Actually, I don't know enough about it.
You do know that if you were to get this in the right hands, people who specialize in stuff like that, they could very much tell.
Well, while I may not be able to prove it, there's...
Furthermore, you know that if something like that were to be spread as rumors, an investigation may occur.
Well, I may not be able to prove that myself. I do have a friend who is particularly good at spreading rumors, and I can guarantee an investigation will happen.
After being talked about, Jimmy sneezes in Brooklyn.
But yeah.
Hey! Time wizard!
Good lord.
You knew I was doing Joey Wheeler from the start.
Oh, I know.
A chew about it.
Though I suppose I could be coerced into looking the other way if we could come to a bit more of an agreeable arrangement on this device that you and I had been previously talking about. So, how about you just give me the blueprints? Say whatever you want about how I got them. Or, I go and just tell every little individual out here in the fair that you've got ghost lights. And I would like to try and roll a command on him.
Okay. Would you like a devil's bargain?
I would like to hear what the bargain is, but I may not consider it.
If you succeed on this roll, and he does give you the blueprints for it, a full report will be given to the police, and he will pay off the right people to make sure he does not get in trouble for the ghost light. But you will get it for free, but you will take more heat for it.
I don't really like that particular deal, so I don't think I'm going to take it, but I would at least like the possibility of a discount on the light. Even though it doesn't really matter for me, I'd rather not have this noble dude coming after me for money.
I will say
I also end up
It
in a
will
better
be-
position with this dude who may have connections if I don't cost
he
him a
will
fuck
drop
ton.
the price from 7 down to 4 coin. which definitely puts your associate a bit more at ease, but 4 coins still quite a bit. I would say you would need to roll a consort with your friend one more time to guarantee payment over with no strings attached.
So you want me to roll a command and a consort, or just a consort?
Consort if you want to try to have your friend buy it at a lower price. Command if you're trying to just get it for free.
I will try and get the lower price. So, what sort of situation
Risky
is
standard.
standard? And what if I guarantee to him that if he does agree to sell it to me at a more reasonable price, that I will not spread the information to the individuals at the fair and ruin his reputation?
Pretty much you promise on it. Essentially, you were saying you will make another ghost contract.
Yep, using those exact words that I said.
That you will
You
not...
will not spread information to other people at the fair. Exact words.
Let me roll something real quick. He's a pretty smart guy. 6. Period, he says. You will not tell anyone, period. Whether here or anywhere.
Darn it. You almost had this man in your pocket.
He sort of looks at him. Fine. I will not inform anybody, period, about this issue. And he sort of looks at the man that he is in here with, and sort of turns his head so that he's got one of his eyes away from the dude. Does that sound reasonable to you? And he winks at the dude with the hidden eye.
So Tom, I just want to say, I'm still picturing that this is Madrash. Just your big old dragonborn.
Okay, so...
It's a very similar voice.
I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot that fucker was in the room.
Yep, he's there too.
So
and I don't have to say shit.
I'm not going back on that word.
I don't
He
have
shakes
to
your
say
hand.
shit.
He will shake your hand.
There's now a ghost mark on the man.
There is. You still need to roll the consort to convince him to pay the 4 coin, though.
Do I get any bonus dice for this? Because I did basically just serve this dude up on a platter for him to ruin his reputation if he wants to.
And he does find that quite funny, and he also is, again, enamored in you. Add 1d6.
I'm good at this game.
Oh, this is what it's like playing with...
Still a 3, though.
Oh.
I'm good, my luck isn't.
I still think that's
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I still think that's too high of a price. I mean, 4 coin. It's about as much as I make for a month. I would have to start living like a commoner for a while. I can't have that.
I know how to fix this, too.
Jimmy can make his way in at any moment.
Is it offering him some... Actually, you're in disguise now, so would he even recognize him?
That's true. I am
He
in a
wouldn't,
very good
actually.
disguise. Okay, so Jimmy will walk in.
I will
He
say,
enter his way in.
I'm going to mark down 1 on that disguise, though, for the clock, for the failure.
Yeah. And, I assume I can get a, well, just to save time, I get told what's been going down?
Yes, you get the laydown of it. The man does question who you are, but kind of in the position he is, he's kind of forced to accept there is a... You get told everything except the ghost light.
Yep,
Yeah.
I don't say a word about it.
Okay, so basically, Jimmy would like to convince him of the 4 coin. Sorry. As a loan to pay half of it back. Because, hey, we'll give you, you'll get 2 coin back. Just, because we both look like noble people, right?
At this point, yes.
I'm basically just gonna try to convince him that Malice is good for it.
Oh, that you know Malice in that. All right. You roll me a sway. Don't add anything to it, though, unless you want to push yourself.
Am I controlled? Am I at least controlled?
You are in a control standard position. I will say, though, Malice, if you want to assist to add on another die, you would only take 1 stress for it, so you won't cause trauma. But he will get a dice for it.
I'll add an assist, but that's the last one I think I can do. Is it when I get to the last stress, or
yes,
when I go
you get
over
to the last one?
Yeah, so that's
hits.
the last stress that I can do today.
Jimmy, you can also push yourself if you want 4.
Yeah, because this is literally the make or break. I'll take the 2 stress.
Mm-hmm. Literally, because this is literally the make or break, because either you do this or you probably have to break his legs and take it.
I mean, honestly, if this didn't work, I was going to eat this vial of slumber essence in his face and just grab it.
I was going to pistol whip the scientist.
That could have worked. Both of those would have worked.
Too bad. 5.
Indeed. He agrees.
I never say my name.
Jimmy?
Hmm?
Your fake mustache starts to come off a little bit. You put it back, but you do realize that the adhesive you have on it is starting to wear off.
I just will quickly say, I'm sorry you had to see that. I'm not using the accent. I'm just gonna talk normal because this guy's. I'm sorry you had to see that. There was a fire, and now I can't grow one anymore.
I completely understand, but I'm glad you do know, my friend here. If he's good for it, then I am more than comfortable for paying.
Oh, absolutely. He's my banker.
Oh, baking. Well, you.
He's quite the deal maker, and
Quite the
I can tell he's good for his word. But I'm sorry that any of you had to see my secret shame. As Jimmy will walk off, fake soft crying.
He does grab you for a second. And go, it's okay, it's okay. He like looks back at Malice. He kind of like covers his head a little, and he lifts up what seems to be some hair. He's clearly wearing the toupee.
This man gets it. Now I don't want to pistol whip him.
I guess it's okay though. We'll make it through this.
Yeah, Jimmy can't control his condition. He leaves ashamed.
Yeah, he's a good man. It's good to know that you're good for it. I feel much comfortable.
And because Malice, he's a pretty smart, intuitive guy. I'll just say, I'll see you at the bank.
He nods.
I.e., we're gonna split up and just meet back somewhere safe.
All right.
Also gives you an opportunity to go and get some extra blueprints.
I was about to say, Malice,
yep, that's exactly what I'm doing.
You absolutely get a copy of the blueprints for the bike.
Woo! Did the thing we came here to do.
You did do the thing you came here to do.
Jimmy's in for that candle and the inkwell pens.
Okay. I will say, Malice at this point, after he has paid for it and you get your blueprints, he is very eager to go take you to his parents and lover. So
I was really interested in why he wants to show me to his lover.
I think she stood him up is a big fuck you.
Probably, and he's kind of there for it, honestly. He's perfectly willing to be a homewrecker to people that stood him up.
So Malice, you get away with pretty much no issues. Jimmy, you are now the only one left at the fair, or at least Malice. As you are leaving, Jimmy, you are doing this.
Yeah, as
you are going for what?
I want the candle or the inkwell pen. Primarily, the candle is a symbolic gesture.
All right. How are you going about the candle? Are you just going to try to sneak over and take it?
Yeah, kinda. Whatever would
kinda.
Hmm.
No, it's just the fun moment of kinda.
You're also dressed like a noble right now, so you may be able to
sway
people.
Basically, what I'm gonna try to do is to convince them that, hey, I'm gonna take this to my superiors, because fuck light bulbs. This is where it's really at.
Also, I just love that as part of that deal, I completely set this dude up to completely fuck that guy over if he ever needs to.
It's not only that, you may have just destroyed this man's home life. right.
Well, that's the funny thing. So as worded, Malice cannot tell anyone.
Nope.
He can tell this guy to write it down and give it to Jimmy.
Yes.
But yeah, Jimmy's gonna talk to Candle Guy and basically inform them that, I work for some very important people. If I can just take one of these, or at least a way to make it to them, we definitely would like to invest. We just need to give it to see if it'll actually last 10 hours.
Of course, yes.
And I give him the same fake address.
That's that's true though. Now that I think about it, because I only said that I wouldn't tell anyone about the ghost light, but that doesn't mean that I can't say something like, "Could you write down that information that we've discovered earlier and provide the information to my cohort?"
So
Yep.
he already knows, so you can discuss the blueprints and everything with the man.
Yeah, but I can't do it in the presence of Jimmy.
Yes, true.
So all he has to do is write it down and give it to Jimmy. But no, Candle Guy gets the same. Everyone's getting the same fake address. I'm just gonna make a really weird accidental group of friends.
Oh my god, that woman's gonna be so pissed. She's gonna be like, who is sending people to me? All right.
Thank God I'm so nondescript.
Roll a sway to try to sway this man to just hand over his prize invention in the hopes that you, as a fancy,
Can I claim a bonus die for fanciness and sympathizing with spotlight bulbs?
I would say that because you are using the disguise kit and you are looking pretty fucking dapper, add on a d6.
Okay. I clicked it. Did it?
A 5.
Okay. 5. Jimmy got a 5.
Your disguise is starting to wear off,
Yep, 2 off.
but you do have a candle. You have 1 away before the disguise is gone.
Yep, I have the candle, and I'm gonna go to Pen Guy.
Pen guy looks at you. He's like, hello, you here to view my invention. I've been working on it for the last 20 years. It's really my life's work.
Same thing, I'm gonna convince him that I work for a bank, and if we might make this the only pens we use in a major bank. I assume Jimmy would know the name of one.
Yeah. I would imagine you would probably use a name over in Brightstone or Charter Hall.
Yeah, I just use one of those names, like, hey, we're a major bank, and these whole dipping things is really slowing down our stuff.
So
We can, be the bank of the future.
if you want, you can tick off a box of load. Because I'm pretty sure under it you can get...
Subterfuge supplies.
I find it kind of funny that I envisioned this guy as kind of like a widowmaker, and I accidentally ended up charming.
A little bit, yeah.
But,
Yeah, subterfuge supplies. I would say you're able to pull out some documents.
yeah, basically some fake stuff like, hey, fake business card.
Yeah.
You just contact them, say, Daniel, you have an appointment with Daniel, and just don't take no for an answer.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, give him the fake name. I don't give him the fake address.
Okay.
But I do just say, hey, talk to this person demand to speak to this person who doesn't exist.
So I'm pretty sure if you hadn't have walked in there, that would have been the point where I would have just thrown the dust in the dude's face, grabbed the documents, and said to the guy, "This is where the interesting part of the evening begins."
Aha! Shoot them.
Oh, how droll.
Well, a murder was interesting.
Not a murder. It's
No,
just
he would
putting
not have died, but he definitely would have been passed out. Roll that sway, Jimmy.
Okay, sorry, I had a different tab up to figure out the load. Sway, controlled, standard, 1 bonus, as per usual. Correct?
Yes, for using the subterfuge.
4!
4. Whew. You walk away with the blueprints for the pen as well. As you walk away, a man knocks off your fancy hat, and your fake beard finally falls all the way off. You are now full-on Jimmy, and people are still looking for you, though.
Jimmy's just going to act like, like ashamed, and he's leaving. He's going home.
So you're going to try to fake your way out.
Yep. Like, I want to make everyone so uncomfortable they have no desire to look towards me. You ever seen a grown man cry?
Roll me one more of anything you think. Add +1 die because you still have the plans for the guards. Exit.
I think risky, standard, and this will be another sway to, convince no one, like, I don't want to look at that.
Yeah, for even the guards to go, ooh, poor guy.
Risky, standard, 1 bonus. 4.
4. You were very lucky because if any fail, you would have been discovered and you would have had to chase.
Yep, so Jimmy is going straight away.
You do
And everyone forgot Jimmy was there.
Indeed. Because you succeeded on a sway.
Yep.
So, with that, that is finally the end of the heist. Good job on at least getting out there with 2 different inventions.
Yeah. No toilet, but...
No toilet.
We got the main thing we needed.
Though it's probably a good thing that the toilet will go into the public.
Yeah, no. What Jimmy's plan was, he was never going to give that to Baz. He was going to put it, like, have that printed in, like, a newspaper.
Oh.
Everyone gets this shit! I'm tired of the bathroom!
Yeah, because at this point, it's just a bucket. It really does suck. Anyways, absolutely. End of the heist. Congratulations. You both were able to get out. You meet up with Baz, who is impressed. He was a little concerned because this was a very important heist for him. A getaway vehicle could be massive for his group. He is a little disappointed that it was a penny farthing bicycle, though. He was very much.
Did you have the guy write down about the ghost light?
I would say that if Malice wanted to, he could easily have him do that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm keeping my word, but I'm 100% fucking that dude over.
And then and I assume we hand it to Baz, right?
I mean, if you guys want to.
I'm not allowed to tell anybody, but you're fully allowed to do what you want.
He gave the note to me, so I hand it right to him and say, and here's someone you can keep in your pocket.
Oh. Hey, one of the members of the Sparkrites, was it? Interesting.
Maybe.
They'd be really fucked over if I spilt this to the right people. Keep that in the back pocket. Thank you, Jimmy.
You know Jimmy always delivers. Also, I just turned to Malice. Fun evening? Because I assume this is like the next day.
Yeah. Malice, at this point, you in fact did go home and meet that man's parents. You and him actually spent about a half hour to an hour laughing outside his lover's window.
Just point and laugh.
He even hired a small local group band to play like romantic music outside the window.
You're a dream weaver.
It's pretty obvious he's also pretty wasted.
He hired Wham to play Careless Whisper outside her window.
Mm-hmm. As you both retired back towards Silk Shore to one of the evening brothels, renting out a room.
And then I just see him the next day in the same clothes.
Hair a bit more ruffled.
Well, this worked out for everybody. Hey, want to go trick some doofuses out their money?
Well, now that you mention it, I may know a few that deserve it.
Hell yeah! And
Real
then
quick?
they go off to do shenanigans.
Yeah, so now we have some downtime stuff and some things to kind of go over because we can still do entanglements, which I think is funny.
I'm gonna use the bathroom and do Thomas stuff first.
All right. Well, this is kind of a group thing. So 3, you want low on this, so 3 is pretty good. Get in trouble or the usual suspects. Huh. What would be a good one for this? I think it would be the usual suspects.
Okay.
Malice. The man you just had one hell of a night with, you do hear a couple days later, was brought in for questioning over a possible issue that happened outside or during the fair. So,
And?
if you mark on your character sheet, you'll have 2 coins. It's right next to the harm and under the healing. So you both got paid 2 coins.
Is it the white box or the gray box?
The white box. The white box that says coin next to it, those are how much coin you have on you. You can only hold up ever to 4. The stash, which is underneath it, is pretty much what you have in bonds and stocks or property.
I'm back.
So, to catch you up, the guy that he had that night fling with got pulled in for questioning.
Ha!
You also both got 2 extra coin for delivering both the pen and the candle. He was particularly happy with the candle.
Good.
Jimmy, I have already kind of marked it on your sheet.
Thank you.
You can either let this man continue to be questioned by the police, or you can pay a coin to pay off the police and just have him leave them alone.
So, in this situation, actually, because that guy has so many connections, and Malice actually views it as a good way to sort of keep them in the loop if they want to. He's going to actually pay the coin to get the police leaving alone.
Like I said, Malice is good for it.
That he is.
How do I remove it?
Click the third box, like that.
So it's like a...
Right. I'm marking that down for whenever we do another one shot. This man will be considered one of your allies now.
What I was going for.
Kick ass.
So if you want something of a higher quality, like if you're looking for a getaway vehicle or something, he may be a person to go to. So that takes care of entanglements. All right. Downtime activities.
Can I like add him as a friend on the sheet or something?
Yeah, so if you go down, you see Shrewd Friends. You should be able to go in and delete them, because you get one. You mark one of these Shrewd Friends as an ally by adding the plus here, and you mark one of them with down as an enemy. So you have to choose out of those currently who you have as an ally and who you have as an enemy, and then add one more ally for this guy.
Wasn't Angus the guy that I talked to at the fair?
Yes. So, Angus, a Master Architect, would probably have been your friend then. And then either Jaina, a servant, Riven, a chemist, Jaren, a blue coat activist, or Salia, the information broker, would be your enemy.
Well, he loves information, so probably would. He probably isn't part of the nobility anymore because he probably fucked over some of the blue coats. So.
True. It's also possible for Jaina if he were an asshole while you were a noble.
Does he seem like an asshole to you?
A bit.
Sure, so he makes some unfair deals, but he's not an outright asshole.
Fair. All right. And then I would say for the others, delete one of those and just add in. God, what did I call him?
I don't think you ever did.
We'll call him Buford.
Okay, I now have Buford as a friend.
Indeed. The others we're just gonna get rid of because you have no connections to them. So, downtime activities. This is where you can do stuff like attain a special item, attain a service, a cohort. You could try to relieve stress, start a long-term project, or recover from damage.
Let's relieve some of that stress. I think he's gonna join me on the tricking people.
It's whatever his vice is.
How many d6s do I get to roll for this?
I believe for this.
And I assume I can't double down on relieving stress.
You
I mean,
can
I
actually,
probably
but you don't want to overindulge.
Yeah, that's true.
I probably relieved some of my stress last night because I think I wanted one of my vices to be luxury.
Luxury or pleasure, probably.
That's mine. Mine's luxury, and what do I find luxurious? Being the smartest man in the room. But
Alright.
yeah, I'm gonna roll my 1d6 then, Broden.
Could I also roll a 1d6?
Yeah. So AJ, roll a d4. Sorry, d6. All
I
right. So
rolled
AJ, you remove 4. Malice, remove 2.
There. Okay, Jimmy only has 2 stress. That's good.
All right, Malice, you can indulge again if you like, since you can't overindulge.
Why can't I?
You have more than 8.
You have more than 6. You have exactly 6. So if you roll a 6, you have no stress. But if you roll more than what you have in stress, you overindulge, which can cause issues. And it also stops any stress from actually being removed.
Broden, I'm gonna.
I see how that works now.
Yes.
I'm gonna train resolve. How many boxes?
So I'm gonna say it for this one because these are only gonna be one shots. I'm not gonna do training. I'm just gonna do what is it?
Yeah, I mean I don't have ideas for long-term projects either, so.
Long-term projects can be really anything. So if you want to start a long-term project to how to, let's say, improve the penny farthing thing, or if you want to start a project of acquiring more assets or making allies with other gains.
Jimmy's gonna go try to find some blackmail.
All right, let me see what that would be considered.
We definitely got a ton of it on that one, dude.
Yeah, but more than better.
I'm so happy with how well that worked out, too. I was just like, yeah, sure, I won't tell anybody. Looks over at other person.
It's completely because that went completely over my head, and I'm like, yeah. If it went over my head, it went over his.
He thought he was being smart, but he forgot there was another person.
Oh my gosh, you can acquire an asset for service and literally get a legal representation. You can find a lawyer if you want.
Jimmy needs a lawyer.
You want to try to acquire an asset?
Yeah, Jimmy could use an attorney.
All right. Temporary use. Constitute one significant period of usage that makes sense for the asset. Typically, the duration of one score. An asset may also be acquired for standby use in the future. You might hire a gang to guard your lair, for example, and they'll stick around until after the first serious battle, or until a week goes by and they lose interest. To acquire the asset rolls of career results in the quality of the assets using the cruise tier, the 3 tier, -1. All right. Roll for me a d6. This is going to be how good your lawyer is. You can also spend 2 coin to boost it up any tier. So a 3.
So I would spend 2 to make it 5?
Yeah. So you get a fairly
I'll spend 2 coin to make that into a 5.
Okay. You get a fairly decent lawyer. He's not the best lawyer, but it's definitely better than having like a just a random legal representation given to you.
So, Broden, you know what's kind of funny about that situation with the dude?
Hmm.
I didn't mean to because I'm kind of an idiot, but Malice definitely meant to mislead that dude with the I won't tell anyone in the fair thing to get him to only think about him telling people and then limiting him to not telling anyone while the other dude was still there. So that, like, I didn't plan that, but that's definitely something he would have planned to just, like, throw him off just enough to get him to not consider the other person.
Okay. I'm resetting this because I'm trying to figure out how much
Also, did you pick up on what Melis Pacty's name is?
I did.
I wasn't looking at malice practices.
Malice?
Malus Pacty is basically Latin for bad deal.
Okay.
It's not exact, but it's real close.
So the last thing I think I need to do is just figure out how much heat you guys will take, because we're gonna still act like this is a game. All right. Would you say this was a smooth and quiet operation with low exposure?
Yeah, the only thing that we could have gotten in trouble for at the end was leaving our post.
That
And that clock never filled.
or a contained/standard exposure, because you.
Contained ourselves.
I would say this is definitely a contained/standard exposure. People still, the one guy at least knows who you are.
He knows who I am, but he also knows that I can't tell anybody, and he knows that that mark is still on him as long as I haven't told anybody.
True, and he's not going to say anything. I'll say this is a smooth and quiet exposure. You don't gain any heat from this. You guys did pretty well. Add +1 heat for a high profile or well-connected target. He absolutely was, though.
Yeah, he
Add
was.
1 heat if the situation happened on hostile turf. Nope. Add 1 heat
Neutral.
if you're at war with another faction. Nope. Add
Not
+2
currently.
heat if killing was involved. You did not.
Never
kill
once.
anyone. When your heat reaches level 9, blah blah blah.
Where is Heat at?
It's only
he
on
was
the crew sheet. Yep. So.
But for now, Broden's just gonna keep track of it.
Yeah. So you only gain 1 heat, which is pretty much nothing.
Yep.
It's about as good as you can expect when you rob like 3 people.
Well, especially for the fact that technically you mess with a game that was a tier 4. When you guys are tier 0. By the way, the highest you can get is a tier 5.
See, that's like the best time to do it though, because I don't expect the small dude.
He didn't expect you. He didn't even know really who you guys are or who you represented. All he knows, well, you did mention the Lampblacks, but as far as he knows, you were just hired by the Lampblacks.
I made it very clear that I do not work for them. I was simply sent here as a representative.
Exactly. So they're not angry with the Lampblacks. Baz, I will also say, did pay the tide that it takes for you doing this operation on another game's turf.
Yeah, that was something I found out about after the fact in our last game.
So, to put it simply, the Lampblacks only have power in Crowsfoot. But they are still not the leaders of Crowsfoot. You did a job on Silkshore's turf, which is the turf of the Wraiths. So, Bazobaz paid a coin to the Wraiths for you doing the job. But you guys don't have to pay for it. He got what he wanted, and he's very happy with it. In fact, he got more. I believe then...
I will say the Wraiths are pretty great landlords.
They're pretty fair. Jimmy put down in your notes on your sheet, I acquired standard lawyer.
All right, and I think that actually wraps the session up.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to go over. Gain trouble, blah, acquire access, downtime activities. Yep, neither of you need a cover. You don't need to train. You didn't start a long-term project. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. That
Okay,
covers it.
So before we cancel the stream, thanks to everyone who showed up, and thanks to everyone who's watching in the VODs or on YouTube. And as always, choose your role carefully.